Hey guys, welcome back to Themis and Thought. Grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking, go and get that. I'm going to actually play this on the phone to see if I'm if it's working. Is this working? Can you guys hear me? Yep, I think it's working. I'm sharing it in the community tab. All right. So I appreciate all 81 of you guys for coming back. I've never had that happen. I wish I could tell you what just happened, but I do not. Um, I do not know what happened. So grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking. Go and get that. Today we're going to be a little bit meshy, as Kelly Stamps would say, meshy. We're going to be a little meshy. All right. Yeah. If you've ever had like sorrel, it's really disgusting, but apparently it's good for you. Um, okay, we back. All right, welcome. So before we start, there is a lady that I actually would love to speak with. Um, the lady is the author of a dissertation. On the chat, she wrote a dissertation in the comments that we're going to read together. So there are two things. Let me know if you want to come up, if you are the author of this beautiful comment. Let me know. Also, let me know if you're in the chat and you agree with this. The only two sets of people. One, if you agree with this, or if you're the writer. So just one group, I guess, and then an individual. All right, let's do it. So this was under the debate. She said, all you ladies make me sick. We need black men. It's our fault as well for these single parent homes, and the little black girl is just as traumatized for not having father in home. We need to be sorry, just as traumatized for not having father in home. We need to birth more black males and build better father figure for our babies, male and females alike. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I'll never dispose of my black man, and you wonder why some are the way you women talk about the black about because of black women's attitude like this. Whew. Um we are at a paradigm shift and our kings are being born. This whole conversation is BS. We need to heal our families as a whole, and if he's willing to lead righteously, then we should follow. Of course, the black man ain't in his right mind in a predominantly psychological sense of white society where they are meant to rule their own and have their own law on the land. Get to the real problem. I have two sons, and I was actually more miserable with my girls, but either way, all my children deserve life, even if it takes my own. You start building your men up, and maybe you can have a society to exist. In the black gene is stronger than any, so why you selectively choose to breed, you're contributing to genocide without the black male. This conversation makes me sick to my stomach. If you're threatened by the medical institutions, learn at home and have your black babies at home. Eat better and stay spiritually righteous. What goes around comes around. I love black men to life. All right. Um, someone said punctuation took black men out of the home. I was obviously no, it's not breathe. I was trying to breathe with the punctuation because there was none besides periods. So there was no reading. There was no punctuation. Thank Thank you. The way the run-on sentences are wearing themes, I feel you. Yeah. I am not Whitney Houston. I cannot hold my breath, but I can. Mm-mm. All right. Look, it is what it is. I'm not going to respond to this because I would like the writer of this dissertation to come forward and explain it to me. I don't think it's fair because, like most men will say in the chat, we need we need context, and I don't think it's fair to not have context, right? The deep breath. um are we sure that is a woman and not an incel? Well, I think it's the woman. The reason I think it's the woman is well, I'm not going to tell you why I think it's a woman, but what I'm going to say here is up here in the top paragraph of the dissertation, in the introduction, we're introduced to men who are supposed to be kings and leaders and everything. Then, somewhere in the middle, it's about domination because of white society. And then at the bottom, it is that you need to start building men up, and maybe you can have a society to exist in the black gene is. I mean, I don't know what this is saying, but I'm going to assume it's saying that at some point the men are kings at the top, white society is holding us down, you need to elevate us to make us kings, even though we were kings up here, and something about our genetic makeup being strong. Um, and you are the reason why men aren't strong. I don't know. Girl, I gave it the best try I got. I don't know what's happening here. But I extend a ton of protection to the author. Someone said, Ma'am Tima said, come get your credit. Yeah, this is extra credit. I feel like you get an A. You get an A in this course. If you are here and you want to claim this, let me know. Now, let's do a poll before we actually start the video. This is a safe space. All right, let me do a poll. Drop a 1 in the chat if you agree with this. Now, don't be mean. If you agree with it, you are going to have to explain it. Build it up as best you can and explain it. Drop a 1 if you agree, drop a 2 if you don't. I'm trying to get people who agree with it. So drop a 1 if you agree and a 2 if you don't agree. Also, if the author is here, please come forward. Wait, where are the ones? Ain't nobody. Wait, no. Where are the ones? I need to see the ones because I actually want to talk to someone with this mindset. All right, look, maybe you guys are my subscriber, so there are no ones currently, but please remind me to bring it up later on. All right, Adrian, will you come on? Please let me. Faith! All right, Faith and Adrian. All right, look, please do not hit this link unless you're Faith or Adrian or if you hit a 1. Only people with a 1, and I'm not being facetious. If you come up here and you don't agree, I will remove you. It's not to be disrespectful in any way. Oh. Again, y'all play it too much. I need someone who agrees with this to come up. So there is the link. Only people who agree. I'm not being facetious at this point. We are all kind of trying to learn, and I won't be mean. I'm not generally mean on here. So like Stop. I need someone who agrees with this to come up. There will not be a ton of pushback at all, actually. I want you to explain this, and then I will let you go, or I will tell you what part of the conversation it's going to be me really asking questions about it. But for the first like 5 minutes, I will allow you to defend your dissertation and you will get this PhD. Like I will, I don't have, I'm done. I don't know why I did that. All right. All right, since none of y'all are coming up, I feel like y'all are hating. So we're going to we're, we're going to we're going to move on. I don't want to move on because I actually do. I wish this lady was here. How do I reach out to people who disagrees with the channel, to like women specifically? Because yeah, women specifically who disagree with the channel and what is being said. How do I get them over here and to like talk? Like I do actually want to talk to some of, because I've been thinking about men a lot and how to talk to men about what we're talking about over here. But I actually would like to speak to women who disagree with me. And I didn't do a really good job of it during the debate because there was a lady who came up at the end and I thought she was trolling for the first 5 minutes and then she was serious and I was very much confused. But I should have kind of wheeled her in more as opposed to like just being overtly against what she was saying. Mm-hmm. Someone said that Tanya lady. Yeah, I need to break down her logic and understand it. So, all right. With no one coming up, yes, you are speaking of Tanya. All right. Since no one is coming up, this was the pre-show. I'm going to put this to rest now and we can get into the actual show because we do have a good lineup. What I think is a good lineup. I was laughing all day today. Let's see if I continue to laugh now. All right, here we go. Can you slow down the chat? All right, before I do anything, let's do that. Let me do that. I can slow down the chat. I'm always impressed by how many people are here, honestly. And so I did tell myself that I would just generally just slow it down as a starting point, but I feel like that is kind of arrogant to believe anyone is going to come here to hear me talk about anything. So that's why, like, I feel like not slowing down the chat is a practice in humility for me. So I just did. All right. The chat is slow. All right. So where do we start? Let's just jump right into math. Let's just jump right into it. I feel like hey, gameplay couch. Sorry, I was muted. Let's jump right into the mess. If you didn't hear the intro to this mess, then it's fine. You don't need it. We're just gonna jump right in.
Is inner work that they just refuse to do. Costs no money.
Nope.
You know what's crazy? A lot of what women need to change to be attractive in terms of marriage is inner work that they just refuse to do. Costs no money.
Nope.
You going to, you know what I'm saying, like get yourself together, being cooperative, being understanding of your man, studying your man, as O said so eloquently in the last podcast. A lot of women refuse to do those things. So that's why their relationships suffer. Not even necessarily how they look. We know plenty of attractive women. I can start listing them: J Lo, Halle Berry, Lisa Ray, all these like just super attractive women who done been the Naomi Campbell, who done been the staple of what beauty looks like. Can't keep a man. So, you know, a lot of that money that they spending, a lot of that work that they getting done, they not putting that energy into the right places. You know what's crazy?
All right. So someone is not living in reality. Someone is not living in reality because the the Psychology Today article does not agree. The third point in this article says men need to address skill deficit to meet healthier relationship expectations. So someone is lying. Either the psychologist, right, the couples therapist, either the research on the relationship out in this world is wrong, or the black men who are on the microphone who are unqualified, do not have any degree, do not have any research, do not have any research at all, like not just research, don't have any qualifications at all. Either they are right or the psychologists who actually do the work are right. We need to figure out, look, I don't know who is right. Let me be clear. I don't know who is right. I know who I'm prone to believe based on credentials, but I don't know who is right. So, on one hand, we have articles coming out by people who've done research, who have spoken to people in relationships who actually went to school, got the education, know how to do the study, have a sample size that can be generalizable, do that kind of work, and write an article backed by research, publishing it, saying men need to address skill deficit to meet healthier relationship expectations. Either that is correct, or look, we can't just say that's the correct one, or we go over here to men who don't have any qualification at all, but they do have experience of some sort. I don't know what kind of experience. They're alive, so they have some experience of something. Either the psychologists are right or these men with microphones are right. I don't know. I don't know, because they can't both be right. Because one is saying men are the problem, the other is saying women are the problem. No. My question is, why are women? The psychologists outline why men are the problem, right? They say don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to meet these expectations in the modern relationship sort of arena. We don't know that. But the men are saying y'all are not submissive. Feels pretty equal to me. I don't know how y'all gonna decide who to listen to. I don't. I know how you going to decide who you have to listen to. Are you going to listen to the scientists, or are you going to listen to the random man with a podcast with a video phone on on TikTok? Hi. Y'all are down bad. We're down bad. Mm. There is an inconsistency happening here. There is, on one hand, right? On one hand, there is an appetite for a certain kind of content that goes viral. It is a Kevin Samuels-esque kind of content that goes viral and you can use to make money. In terms of capital, that is how you make money, right? The ecosystem is telling you that you should tell women, in particular Black women, that this is how they should operate. That is how you make money on YouTube. On the other hand, we have the realities, right, of an inconsistency, at least in heterosexual dating market, where men do not know how to engage meaningfully with women. but telling men how to engage meaningfully with women do not sell. So if you are a capitalist, how do you engage in content creation for people who will not buy it if it's meaningful? You don't. You don't. And that's what's happening in these pop-up dating coaches, right? They are not able to sell their content to men for men's improvement. What they have to do is attack women, or at least tell women how to improve, because that is where the capital is. His interpretation is that those beautiful, successful women couldn't keep a man, rather than men aren't good enough to keep them, is what takes. Yeah, like I'm not even. I'm not even. It's projecting. We're lonely, and you women need to give in. It definitely is projection. It definitely is that. Themis is a mess. The men's read it and ignore men in the article. Wait, no. See, I have a beautiful scale, and I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to weigh the two sides. I'm trying to weigh the two sides of the argument, and it doesn't feel. It feels like we don't know where to go. It feels. Not Cinchi coming in right away to fight that I took her catchphrase, pop up unqualified failed relationships, having dating coaches. Look, I don't know about y'all, but at this point, I don't even know where to turn. Like, what do I do? I don't give advice, but if I were to give advice, do I tell you guys about the research and the studies being done on psychology and human interaction and relationship in the modern era, and why the 1950s might not work? Do I tell you about that? Or hear me out, or do I tell you what these pop-up dating coaches are saying? Do I tell you what the pop-up unqualified failed relationships having coaches are saying? I don't know. I feel like they're on par with each other. I feel like they're the same. So let's continue. Let's go down the raggedy. Let's continue. Because we are going to come to some conclusion today. We are going to figure this out together.
What whole thing? Why don't the women want to cook and clean for the men anymore?
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day. That's not hard.
They're tired?
Yeah, they got to go to work every day, just like you.
What are they tired of?
Of working. It's not hard. I mean, that shouldn't even be like, I don't even understand the question. Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. But yeah, I mean.
Do you have a woman right now?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
I have to replay that. I have to replay that because the first time I watched it, I promise you that I didn't believe it happened. So I literally had to stop, take a breath, and then rewatch it. Because like in my mind, that did not happen. He didn't understand why women how women could be tired. Actually, before we play this, let me remind you of
If
this.
your girlfriend comes to spend the weekend with you and she stays in bed till 8 a.m., it just might be a sign that she's lazy or doesn't rate you. A word. I see a lot of you young single women are tussling about this. This man did not lie. Why are you sleeping till 8 a.m. while auditioning for the glorious position of wife? My name is Dr. Lawson. Okay, I've been married for 17 days. I know what I'm talking about. To be a wife means you are going to do hard labor. Do you think it's easy to earn the title Mrs. without toiling the earth? You have to earn a husband. If you are dating a boyfriend, you have to prove to him that you have the shoulders to carry the weight of the title wife. How dare you sleep? Why are you even sleeping? Do you need sleep? Wives don't need sleep. They need to be waking up all night to fast and pray and carry the burden of the family. After you fast and pray and carry the burden of the family, you will now wake up early, but you don't sleep, so you don't wake up. Never mind that. Either way, you never sleep. Remember this mantra. In order to be a wifey, you must forgo sleeping. Why are you even sleeping? You need to be rubbing his back. You need to be massaging his ego. You need to be scrubbing the floors. And then remember, you're going to wake up so you can go and work for him. Stop sleeping. Stop fighting, my guy. I've been married. Join me on my next episode on You're Single. But why? If your girlfriend comes to spend the weekend with you.
So, with that context in mind, because I don't think you all are understanding. So, with that in mind, now we can fully digest. Now we can fully digest what this man is saying regarding how are you tired when you come from work. So here we go. Let's go back.
What whole thing? Why don't the women want to cook and clean for the men anymore?
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day. That's not hard.
They're tired?
Yeah, they got to go to work every day, just like you.
What are they tired of?
Of working. It's not hard. I mean, I shouldn't even be like, I don't even understand the question. Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. But yeah, I mean.
Do you have a woman right now?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the roles in a marriage?
What are you talking about, roles? And everybody does what they have to do.
Well, okay. What do you do? What does she do?
For a living?
No, in the house for the marriage. What do you guys do? What are your roles?
I don't understand the question. She does what needs to be done that day if she has time to do it, and if she doesn't, I do it. I do what needs to be done that day, and if I don't have time to do it, she does it. But roles, I don't know what
how do you not know what roles are in a marriage? You're married for 20 years. You guys don't have any.
He's annoying me. I'm going to tell you why he's annoying me, this one. Because he is so fundamentally flawed, ignorant, wrong, just absolutely out for lunch. And he thinks he's winning in whatever debate is happening. Like what do you mean you don't know what roles? Girl, if you don't shut up. Look. Who invented microphones and cameras? I'm gonna need to have a serious conversation with whoever invented that and this. I need y'all to retract this. We need to go back in time and we need to take all of this back. There is absolutely no reason we need microphones and cameras. Absolutely not. Let him go stand in a square. In the town square and shout at people. Let that be his platform, because there is no reason, absolutely zero reason, you should be on Beyonce's internet confused about why a woman who goes to work would be tired when she comes home. Absolutely not. Now, I know Beyonce told y'all that she's strong enough to bear your children and get back to business. But I'm pretty sure she was playing. You're not worth $1 billion, so she's not going to be doing it for you. Ain't no woman about to sit here, go to work, come home, and actually, apparently a lot of women do it. So I don't know why, but apparently a lot of women do it. He was befuddled. Yeah, he seemed genuinely confused. He was perplexed. He has to work on his recovery, girl. And not him taking sort of the dominant role still. All right. Let me calm down. I get too excited. You know how you say something dumb or you do something dumb, and in the moment you realize that it was not the smartest thing that you just did, right? And you humble yourself and you might apologize, you might shrink down in your demeanor, you might look away, you might walk away, right? You might end the conversation because you know you're wrong. You like you know you're wrong. This man, this one with the glasses up here, right, looking confused as he is, decided that he is going to be condescending to the. Girl, I wish I had this much confidence. I wish life would probably be easier to just walk through it, just walk through life, being dead wrong, and just act like you are not. Just walk through life pretending like you're not wrong. Demon Synthrope Worker needs to make his bed first. How can he travel to the underworld and slay his dragons if he can't manage to clean his room? Look, I just I can't. I'm gonna finish it. There's a point. Yeah, let's finish it.
Those
Any
don't
roles?
exist. Because those don't exist. Like, I'm not white. I'm not a white Christian
What?
man. I don't.
What are you talking
roll.
about? I'm not white. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, because you're trying to live up to like some white supremacist ideal of the
What are you
nuclear
talking
family.
about?
I don't subscribe
Nobody
to
said
that.
nothing about no supremacy.
Teamwork makes the dream work, friend. We a team. Ain't no roles.
What do you mean there ain't no roles?
It's not that hard to understand. You said, why do women not want to cook and clean? They're tired. They have to go to work.
Okay.
I answered that question.
Okay.
You said, what are your roles?
Who's
I said, we're a team.
if there's some.
Look, I don't ascribe to this notion, but the one with the glasses would have a better argument if he came out and said, my wife would not have to work because I want to be the provider. But if you're in the other guy's paradigm and the other guy's paradigm has the woman going to work, and I'm assuming him also going to work, yeah, there are no roles. If both of y'all are providing, if both of y'all are providing, what do you think the role should be, sir? Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't have the woman providing, you also providing, you come home. Yeah, the work is going to be split equally. Whoever can do it at the time will do it at the time, whatever the work is. The cooking, the cleaning, the taking out the trash. Like, I think a lot of people, in terms of mowing lawn, I'm not about to mow no lawns, but I will definitely pay to get the lawn mowed. I don't know what do you mean? Not them wanting submissive providers. Absolutely not. No, we're going to get into this because I was going to play a video that I'm no longer going to play where a ton of women are talking about, oh my God, I'm looking for a leader. I'm looking for a leader. I'm looking for someone to lead me. And well, let me not. I decided not to because that would veer off into giving advice. And the only woman I'm going to give advice to is my daughter. So y'all can go continue to look for your leaders. These people can't lead themselves, but y'all want leaders. Y'all think because someone is born male that makes them de facto a leader. That don't make no sense to me, but apparently it's biblical. So if you're a Christian, I'm not about to fight you on that. Go off. Also, I need to make a note to my feminists. I completely forgot this. To the feminist women in the chat and men, I've gotten your emails, I've gotten your DMs. I want to extend the biggest apologies to you all. Here is why. I think in the way that I've been talking about feminism on this channel, in my rejection of it, it might have echoed some of the sentiment throughout the manosphere in demonizing feminism. I do not demonize feminism or feminists. I don't. I actually would be a feminist if I believe I could send women to war. Now, pause. There is a lot of people who come up and say, well, you don't have to send women to war. If you don't believe you want to send women to war, you can still be a feminist. I can argue back and forth all day with myself about it. But deep down, I understand why I wouldn't send women to war. And that understanding of why is what makes me not a feminist. Now, this is not me prescribing anything to you. And I actually welcome feminists and feminist ideas. You can bring it here, you can come chop it up. Look, I'm getting into these idioms. So it's fine. When I mess up, you can let me know. But when you say chop it up, you do mean like come hang out with me and talk about it, right? Like I feel like that's what chop it up with me means. All right, great. So you can come chop it up with me, but Themis women are in war today. No, what you're sidestepping the point. I would not, if I had power, draft women to go to war. That is what I would not do. And because I won't do that, I recognize that there is an intrinsic idea about womanhood and manhood that I have that may or may not need to be worked out, right? But that's why I'm not a feminist. But I welcome feminists. That is that on that. So for all the people emailing me, know that if you're a feminist and you come up here and you argue feminist ideas, I won't push back. I mean, I would push back if I think you're wrong, but not just because you're like, I love it. If you think you are as equal in every way to a man, if you believe that fundamentally, know that I won't push back against that specifically. That is it. That is it. That is all. Okay, Themis, go tell that to women. 4-star general, report back what they tell you. What the heck? I feel like you should be blocked again, Jared. I feel like you should be blocked because I feel like you are just willfully obtuse. Either you aren't as smart as you attempt to present yourself, or like you're just willfully obtuse. This has nothing to do with the realities of the world right now. It is my understanding of myself and my views of war and value on human life. And particularly, it is what it is. I'm not about to go back and forth with Joe, and you can stay in the comments and twerk. All right, so that out of the way, let's continue.
Something that needs to be built in the house. Who builds it? You or your wife?
Depends on what it is.
What do you mean depends on what it is?
Like if it's a toy for the kids, you know what I'm saying? My wife's better at putting stickers on, so she builds it. But if we're talking about
that's
like,
not
you know
building nothing, man.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry you feel
Put
that way.
stickers on something, you've lost it.
It's still a task. But my wife's an interior designer, so she can build anything.
I ain't got time for no foolishness. He gone.
All right, I needed you guys to see that at the end. I ain't got time for no foolishness. He gone. Sir, you were the one being an idiot this entire time. Like, are we just gonna sit here and pretend like you were like, how are you upset talking about you don't have time for foolishness? That man wasted his entire time with you there doing nothing, doing absolutely nothing. I would say doing the bare minimum, but not even that you were doing. You live. Wait, I do have a palate cleanser because after watching that, I got really annoyed. So I went to the roommates. And as always, we can rely on Hafiz to be selling suits. Now, say what y'all want. I don't completely dislike Hafiz. Like, if there is one person left in the manosphere that I don't... I'm just disappointed. My problem with Hafiz is disappointment. Is disappointment. So I have an infomercial. I said that every time there is an opportunity where I have a moment to like stop and breathe on a live stream, I would help Hafiz and promote his suits. I will do that. So today we're going to watch one more commercial. Today we're going to watch one more commercial of Hafiz with his suits, and let's see if he's getting better at these commercials. Nope, you guys telling me no, don't do that, don't do that. Nope, we're gonna do it because I think
What's good, fellas?
most of y'all
Today,
are lying and you want suits. So if you want suits, here is the commercial for the suits.
today's video is only for men who are serious about taking their lives to the next level. If you are a guy who simply just wants to watch fun videos online, complain about women on the internet, just waste your time on just meaningless content, today's video is not for you. It's only for the select few guys who have the mindset of success and want to take their lives to the next level. So one of the biggest things I've been thinking about is the rich man mindset versus the poor man mindset. And I want to make it clear, it's different than having a rich man pocketbook and a poor man pocketbook. I'm simply talking about.
Demas, do you have your suit from him yet? See, the thing about it is, see, like, I would, but like, I'm waiting for the right commercial. When the commercial hits properly, when I get the right commercial, I will buy his suit. Now, I'll let you know when the commercial, when I get the right commercial, I'll buy it. The problem I'm having ultimately is I don't want to be a part of his standard. I want to buy the suit, but I don't want to be a part of whatever foolishness they have going on. So I'm gonna order as soon as I get the right commercial. When the one of his commercial is in sync with me, I'll get the suit and we'll do we'll, we'll get into it. Do you think black men are becoming more angry because black women from a lower socioeconomic class are becoming less willing to be providers for black men? Educated black women have long left black men to fend for themselves. This is not true. I wish this were true. I would argue that the Psychology Today article that said, and I think Sinji made this argument too, women are having higher standards. I don't think that's true across the board. And I do think women are still, black women specifically, are still taking care of men and are willing to lower themselves in terms of education and socioeconomic status to be partnered. I still think that's true. However, I am hopeful that this is going to be a trend that continues and take hold in the black community. Lovely lady, I hope that makes sense. But I mean, it is, competition is getting fierce out in these streets for these men. So Demas giggles about the leisure suit. One more. He said, in much the same way we can dream of a kingdom, he dares you to dream of a big pocket. Go Hafiz. Look, let's get into this commercial because this might be the commercial. Oh, it does. Thank you. Let's get into this. Period.
About the mindset today. So, in my opinion, you can have the rich man pocketbook, but you have the poor man's mindset, and in due time, you'll be poor. And on the flip side, if you have the poor man's pocketbook, but the rich man's mindset, in due time, you'll be rich. So my desire is that every single man embodies the rich man mindset. I'm not even gonna waste your time. What is the rich man mindset? First, I'll tell you what the poor man mindset is, and then I'll explain to you what the rich man mindset is. The poor man says when he's about to buy something, how much does this cost? And the rich man says when he's about to buy something, how much do I gain? And I'll explain to you what that means. You see, when people are spending money,
so not Hafiz, not Hafiz going to a pyramid scheme. All right. When you were in uni, were you ever invited back to someone else's place with a bunch of other people? And when you got there, there was a whole presentation ready for you. They're going to ask you to give them $1,000 for some foolishness that you will then sell and then invite other people to be a part. Y'all know how this works. So one of the biggest phrases that has been used is don't think about how much you're spending, but think about how this might be the commercial. This might be the commercial that gets me to invest. This might be it. Don't think about how much you are spending, but think about how much you are going to gain from what you are spending. It's not about how much. Girl, I love this for him. Period. You go ahead, Thief. Because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen next? Y'all know what's going to happen. I've watched this, so it's not like I'm predicting. I already see this. So I saw this. The very next thing he's going to do, he's going to explain to you why you shouldn't care about how much you're spending, right? The reason you shouldn't care is because you want to have a rich man's mindset. So it's not about how much you are spending, it's how much you're going to gain from that which you have spent. Then you move on to tell them nothing about the price at all. Do not tell them what the price is because the price does not matter. The price is irrelevant because you are going to gain so much. And then you move on to give stories about people who have bought your product and become more successful because they've bought your product. So other people should now invest in whatever you're selling because to invest in what you're selling will guarantee them success. And so the price for whatever you're selling does not matter because ultimately they're going to make more than they're investing. Yeah, that is the entire thing. That is the entire, like, I have seen this presentation so often because I like going to, I had a problem with saying no growing up. I had a huge problem with saying no. Anyone wanted something from me, money, notes, books, cheating on my exam. I'm kidding. I had a problem saying no. And one of the things that I did was challenge myself to go to these meetings whenever I had the opportunity to, because I know that I will not be caught up in any of this. So it was my way of practicing telling people no, just saying flat out no. And that's when I get good at telling people no. So trying to sell expensive suit in the economy with remote work, period. Period. What about it? Y'all about to get dressed for these Zoom meetings. Y'all are about to get dressed for these Zoom and Skype meetings. Anywho, so that's how I learned to tell people no. And that's why seeing this specific advertisement was very triggering for me. It reminded me of every sleazy scammer that I've ever met in uni. But not that he is a sleazy scammer, but he reminds me of sleazy scammer.
Who have the poor man mindset. All they want is deals. They want things to be cheap. They want things to be expedient. They want the most easiest way to success. So they're the kind of people that want to invest $5
most easiest to black men. not yeah. Y'all want the most easiest. Most easiest. Period. Go off her feast. Let them know. Y'all are not gonna come for her feast. Not in this climate. Does that mean that the 50 billion that these men cost the U.S. economy is a rich man mindset? Look, the $50 billion that we are costing the economy is what you gain is going to be more than that $50 billion. So yes, it is a rich. It is a rich man's mindset. Let's go back so you guys can hear her fees.
So they're the kind of people that want to invest $5 and then in response get $50 million, right? The lottery ticket kind of people. They have that mindset. They only spend, they only invest when it is the absolute cheapest price possible. But on the flip side, the rich man thinks completely differently. When he is spending money, he's consumed with what do I gain? And it's really important because if you gain more than you spend, you're in the positive. If you spend 300, but you gain 1,000, you're in the positive. If you spend 1,000 and you gain 5,000, you're in the positive. So it doesn't necessarily matter how much are you spending, but in essence, what really matters is what you're gaining. That's what rich men do. They have the mindset of investing in themselves and realize that as long as I'm gaining, at the end of the day, I win. Let me give you some examples from Men in the Standard. So when it
Girl, he literally copied and pasted all the pyramid scheme pictures. One thing Hafiz is going to do is sell the suit. Now he's at the point where he's telling you, he has not told you the price of the suit, right? But he's at the point where he's telling you stories about men in the Standard. Let's hear how much money these men are making in your Standard. And by how much and men in plural form, I don't actually mean that. I mean one.
it comes to the Standard membership, a lot of men I've recently met have the rich man mindset. For example, my guy, Aaron. He's a fitness trainer, constantly crushing it, helping guys become successful. He invested his money into the Standard membership. After investing his money into the Standard membership, he started networking with the guys, helping guys get in the best shape. And then all of a sudden, more and more guys wanted to work with him. I'm not going to tell you the exact number, but let me just give you a kind of ballpark-ish number that in the past couple of months, he's made over $15,000 from the guys in the group. He invested his money, whether it's $399 for the membership or whatever it is for the suit, and then he got $15,000. Rich man mindset. Shout out my guy, Rashid. My guy, Rashid, was a guy barely making a lot of money working at a department store. He realized, I need to invest in myself. Like I said, he didn't have much money.
To go to all these business meetings to make 50. To go to the business meetings to make. Period. Someone said, what is a couple of months? It could be 15 months. It could be 2. It could be 20. We don't know. We don't know. So we don't actually know how much this man actually gained in a certain. Look. Y'all are not gonna come for. No, let me address the chat, because what y'all are not gonna do is come for Hafiz and his business model. Buying expensive clothes doesn't generate income, just credit card debt. Well, you're not buying. No, I'm going to address you guys. You are not buying a suit when you shop at the Standard. You are buying a lifestyle. The 1% life. You are buying a community of men who will help you to be successful in whatever you're doing. Unverified business pursuit, period. It's just that simple. Hafiz is speaking for rich men the way black men speak for white. No, Hafiz is speaking for young men who have disposable income, which they don't have, but they might have imaginary, the phantom disposable income to come buy his suit. And he's explaining to you that even if you don't have this money, you can go into credit card debt, because the truth is the suit and access to membership in the Standard will make you more money than you spend. So even if you don't have the money now, just hold fast to the reality that buying these suits and having access to the Standard will give you something more than just a suit. It will make you rich. So even if you don't have the money now, you can go find the money somewhere. You can go into credit card debt, because you're going to make this money back. You will be making this money back. That is what he is telling you. Do you believe that? That is up to you and God. You know they're selling these half help CDs out the trunk of 92 Toyota. Next, it's timeshares and Nigerian Prince. Wait, this is low level manipulation, not you insulting the same people you want to support you. I hate it here. Period. Period. Like, y'all need to stop attacking Hafiz, wearing the suit, doing squats. Period. Hafiz is going to teach y'all how to do fitness. Hafiz is speaking for rich men the way black men speak for white people. See me stop. No, y'all are gonna get into the suit. What you're not gonna do is miss your opportunity. Y'all are not going to sit here and miss an opportunity to be a part of a community of men that will elevate your life to be a part of the 1%. That's what you're not gonna do. You're not going to do that. It's giving only 5 easy payments. Period. And what about it? Y'all are not going to sit here and attack Hafiz. The 1% doesn't shop at the Standard, guaranteed. They will if they believe this. Themis, you only got 30 days to pay that bill. Wouldn't it make sense investing in education? No. Like, I don't understand what is hard to I don't understand what's hard to understand about this. Y'all invest in the Standard because you are investing in a community of men who will help you to be better men. Going to college does not guarantee success. Going to the Standard, on the other hand, I'm not willing to say that publicly. I'm not willing to say going to the Standard will guarantee success. I'm not about to do that. But that's what I was going to say. Cuddling Black Men 2022. Period. Let them know. Hafiz can't say I've never helped him. Theme is elevated. Dust is called smog. Oh, I love this. I actually love this. Can someone screenshot this and send it to me? I really like this. I really actually like this. Elevated dust is called smog. Period. I really, really like this. This might be my favorite. It's between this and submissive provider. Submissive provider, elevated dust is smog. I don't know which one this is best. I like this. I think this might have won. Send me your Cash App. I'm paying you for the rights to this phrase. All right, let's continue.
He invested in a Standard membership, got connected with some guys, learned about a new career path, got a brand new job making 3 times his salary. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, he's making $6,000 a month. He invests $399, he gets $6,000. As a man, that's how you want to think. Whether it's with the Standard, whether it's with anything else, I want you guys to embody the rich man mindset. I want you to constantly invest in yourself and ask yourself, what do I gain from here? Not necessarily what I spend.
The platinum membership comes with a coupon book for extra No. Y'all are dead wrong. Absolutely not. I'm taking this off the screen. I need to be, look, this is too much free promo. I think, Hafiz, if you're listening to me, I take checks, Cash Apps, Venmo, PayPal. Like, I feel like this is not a sponsorship. I feel like this is a sponsorship. I think I'm helping your business, and I think I'm a great spokesperson. I am a great spokesperson for your business. I can do it. I won't model your clothing because, like, no, but I can talk about your clothing. I will. I promise you. I feel like you should make me an ambassador. I should be the ambassador for the Standard. And let me go through the record and see how much, all of it. Does the suit come in dust color gray? Period. He's wearing it right now.
Spent. And my last thing I'm going to say is to all the guys who are like, well, I don't have the money to invest. I don't have the money to spend. First and foremost, it's really interesting to me that men tell me all the time they don't have enough money to invest in themselves. But all of a sudden, PlayStation put out numbers saying they sold over 20 million PS5s.
Here's a thought. Here's a thought. Maybe the people who are buying the PlayStations aren't the people telling you they don't have money. Maybe the people who don't have money actually don't have money. And maybe you should be helping those people get money instead of telling them they need to go find money and run up their credit card to buy your suit to get some success. You have not told them what it is. Some undefined level of success is out there somewhere for these men that you have not told them. You're there chastising men for not being able to afford your suit. You're telling them that they need to go find a way to invest in it because it's an investment in themselves. Really? Are we really that dense? This, by the way, is part of the manipulation that I don't. Well, you know what? Absolutely not. Let me go back to my trolling. Here is why I am not going to push back against Hafiz. If you're a man and you're sitting there and you think, I need to run myself into debt to afford this because this man that I look up to on the internet is telling me that I need it, I don't really have the kind of sympathy for you that maybe I should, because it's very clear to me what he's doing. This is outrageous and in my mind a bit unethical. There are a ton of people online who are actually looking for answers and who are willing to pay for these answers. And it's unfortunate that we weaponize, and I'm putting myself in the category of content creators, even though I say don't do it, but to sell people things that you know are absolutely useless to them, right? You know it's absolutely useless, but you are going to shame them to come pay for things that they, like, isn't the Cash App enough? Isn't the Super Chat enough? Like, even if it's not enough and you want to sell products, why are you shaming people into buying your products? But it's the men's, it is the men's online who are talking about the manosphere and saying they're improving. So go ahead, go buy the suit. I don't. We'll see if I care. Black men, what do you have? What system of power have you built and maintained? Requiring women to submit to a dominated man is delusional. Keep your suit. Speaking of investing, why does he invest in species? Y'all are dead wrong. Tony, thank you. Rule by Venus, thank you. Curry Up and Eat says, the scale behind you tilt the more you speak. Well, really? Period. It is probably this gold cup that's in there. Let me remove this gold cup. I got that as a gift, by the way. I am not out here buying gold cup. Okay, I'm telling black women now, we don't get with men with suit debt. Not Philadelphia around here. Not suit debt. You're going to get into debt for suits. Yeah. Scammers love to insult the people they're manipulating. Narcissistic abuse. All right. A rich man mindset. Period. Period. Per Themis, please refrain from name calling in the chat. Thank you. Please refrain from name calling in the chat. We can talk about $5.99 all day, but do not name call. Welcome, Tequila. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If I didn't, please come up and let me know. We're almost at the end, but that's the only part that I want because I saw it and it made me upset. But as I'm talking about it online now, I realize this is none of my business. What Hafiz is doing to the mans over there on his channel is none of my business. And if Hafiz made a video yelling at me, I deserve it. It's none of my business. These men say they wanted to listen to Hafiz, so they should go over there and go buy a suit from Hafiz, telling you essentially, he doesn't outright say this, but he's saying, how dare you say you cannot afford this? You need to afford it. Well, sir, go into credit card debt, I guess.
And from my understanding, they're going for about $600 each. And
by the way, this is financially irresponsible. This advice is absolutely ridiculous to me. The only person benefiting is him and whoever his business partner is.
PlayStation also said they would have sold even more if it wasn't for the global shortages. So my biggest thing is, if men don't have any money, then how is that able to happen? How are Yeezys always sold out, right? And what you find out is men have money, they just invest it in the wrong things. They waste it for the wrong things. So men, please, whatever you do, whether it's investing in the standard, whether it's invest in yourself, please take the rich man mindset if you want to be successful. Because if not, you cannot complain why some people are succeeding and you're not. You cannot whine about women today. You cannot whine about the political situation because you're not doing what you need to do to be successful. Hope today's video.
That is a lot for some suit. That is a lot for some suit. That is a lot. That is a lot for some suit. Hafiz and his billionaire boy club selling these groups is just so hideous and very financially irresponsible. Hafiz always appears exasperated. I think he's working through a speech impediment, which I can truly appreciate. You working through a speech impediment. I just find it really, really ridiculous that that is happening. Anyway, the mess continues, right? We're leaving one mess. We're just all over the place today in mess. Let's get back. So thank you, by the way. I was shown a video. I didn't finish this video though, of the I don't know these people. And they wanted me to go through this really long live stream, and I was like, absolutely not. So I asked someone to send me a clip, and they already cut it up. So we have a clip that we're going to watch together. I watched part of it. There was a lady on there that I think I really like, but I didn't see her full argument, so don't hold me to that. Black men want to look like they're worth something, but not. Look. So here you go.
On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
And guess what? She don't give two fucks. Like,
you've seen a lot of stuff, Logic. What are you doing? Angry?
We went to a now. Wait, Q. Wait. See, because y'all love to say I'm lying on this panel. Q, was we not seeing furry flip flop chick everywhere we went?
We did. What does that have to do? Logic,
this is what you do. You need to get your
That doesn't even have to do with anything.
You keep saying people lie about things.
I didn't say you lied. I literally never said you lied. I said that the points weren't adding up. So
hold on, wait. Give me a second, Joe.
Call the police when you see this happening. Do you call the local authorities? Like if you see a woman who is assaulting someone, do you call the police, Logic? And how many times have you called?
By the way, the only reason I'm watching this is because I saw this one up here. And you know, I don't look, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Thank you, Alicia Rose.
Called the police before?
No, I'm gonna start calling them now.
Like,
I can explain.
I'll listen to you, but there's certain things that just don't need to be said. Like
I can explain, no problem. So now it's okay. It's all about conversation. This can help the people in the chat. They may have felt the same way. So the reason why I brought this up is because Logic was just like, yo, women can run around doing stupid shit and they have no consequences. And I came in and said, it's actually worse than consequences because if I slap somebody, I'm gonna go to jail or something like that, right? If a woman slaps somebody, not only would she not go to jail, she would be protected by other men, like Logic said, and pulled to the side and babied, like, you okay? Why did you slap him? What did he do to you? You know what I'm saying? So it's actually more than consequences. And I just went a little farther as far as when women do stupid shit.
It's more than consequences. All right, I might be being mean. So drop a 1 in the chat if you understand what he's saying. Drop a 2 if, like me, you are confused. Don't just do it to agree with me, because I might be just off. Drop a 1 if you understand what Mr. Let Go is saying, or drop a 2 if you don't know what is happening. Please, because I need to. All right, I only see 2. I'm very much confused. I am very much confused.
Shit, like slap somebody, that's his example. And my example was like just having babies by losers, which most women do. And that is another example of stupid shit. And they turn around and get incentivized for doing stupid shit. Therefore, what I was saying was directly in context with the conversation.
Mr. Let Go, do you think that there are no women that have gotten, punished in the court of law for assault? Like, do you really think that?
There's a lot more cases, Kay, too, that where women are actually being held accountable. Probably not as much as men, but they do.
Do y'all women think that most women get the sentence and they're supposed to get?
I don't think they do. Most women probably get off.
Say what you just said
Exactly.
again,
That's what they're talking about.
Don't just skip over what she just said. Not as much as men do. That's literally the point of what we're talking about. Nothing is absolute.
Could it be that men commit more violent crimes than women? Could that be?
Okay, so this lady right here, Kay, the KA show, I don't know why she's on this panel, honestly, but she is far intellectually superior to literally everyone on this panel. This woman right here, look, I don't know her. She might actually go on to say some foolishness down there, but from what I've just seen, and this is where I watched it, she's way smarter than everyone on there. Way smarter. And these men are laughing because they're like, men are getting sentenced at a higher rate than women, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to do that, you need to compare women and men who are doing the same kind of crime. You cannot take the raw numbers of men committing crimes against the raw numbers of women committing crimes and then compare them and say, oh, men are going to prison at a far higher rate than women. What? Yes. So she goes, who do you think are committing these homicides? Like, do you think a woman doing it or a man? And the people at the top are laughing. No, she is dragging them by their phantom hair. The hair that they don't have on the top of their head, they're getting dragged by these phantom hair. These ghost follicles are getting dragged, and she is dragging them with ease, and I love every minute of it. Michelle Bent just got arrested for slapping her husband after he cheated on her while pregnant. Yeah. Mr. Let Remember is a good standing with the He-Man Woman Haters Club. Do solemnly swear to never hold myself or any man accountable for anything. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, I think there's a petty in me. Ghost follicle. Period. I'm dead wrong. I'm wrong. I'm gonna regret saying things now.
You gotta be kidding.
Part of the reason.
Well, no, men do commit more violent crimes.
Wait,
That's a fact.
Man.
You
Hold
don't
on. I was just
violent
ask
crimes
yourself,
women-
look, I can go outside and
Wait,
see.
hold on. Quest, do you think men commit more violent crimes than women? Yes or
This
no?
is not the point, Kay. We're talking about other people that commit the crimes. How many of them are going to fucking jail? not versus men. You understand?
You cannot make that claim without that stat. You cannot. You are not going to convince me. I promise you, you are not going to convince me that women are out here offing men and men are out here offing men or women, whatever, and they both get caught, and you are telling me they're not prosecuted at the same rate and convicted at the same rate with the same amount of proof. You are not about to sit there and try to convince me that our criminal justice system is releasing women who commit heinous crimes and keeping men who commit heinous crimes. You are not about to do that. Prove it. I don't got to prove it. You're making the claim. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. You literally can't prove it. You literally cannot prove it. I don't know why these women are sitting here having this conversation with these men. I don't know why. They're making claims. I think the reality is there is a sense that the law, right? And by the law, I'm talking about people who are engaged in law enforcement are more prone to believing women. But what you're not about to sit there and say is that a woman who commits a crime in the way that a man does a heinous crime in the fact that they were talking about homicide gets away with it with the same level of proof that a man goes to jail for. No, you're not about to do that. Absolutely not. You're not. And I think the criminal justice system is extraordinarily flawed and it has racist outcomes. You're not going to convince me that it doesn't. You are going to convince me that it does. So, yes, I agree on that. But when you gender the ways in which it operates, you are going to have to come and prove some of that. You don't just get to say it. I'm also not saying you're completely wrong. I'm saying you have to prove it. You don't get to just say, I feel this way. Not with this. Not using it like that. No, you don't.
But when it comes to women, they always want to compare to, well, what about men? And men do.
And this is why I think Mr. Let Go is done. All right. Mr. Let Go is not this. I don't know why honestly, I don't know why anyone at the top. I'm going to give this guy up here. I think he's the one who went against the guy who said he had R. Kelly tendencies, right? This is the guy that went against him. So I will exempt him from the critique that I'm going to put on all of them, except him. And I'm only giving him that goodwill because he was the only one in the manosphere who stood up and say, you saying you have R. Kelly tendencies is wrong, inappropriate, and you need to be dragged for it, right? So at least there is some level of integrity. I don't know him. I'm assuming this is him. I feel like this is him. I'm almost 100% sure it's him. So I'm going to exempt him from this critique because at least he stood up and said it. So maybe he is in fact a man of principle. And even if I don't like you, I don't know him, so I don't know him not to like him, I will give him that. But I don't know why these men get to talk. I'm sorry. I don't know why these men get to talk about this. I don't. You literally just made the argument that women get softer sentences or not prosecuted at all. You made this comparison between men. So now why are you mad when they're pushing the comparison forward? Who is committing the crimes? Why are you upset when the comparison is getting pushed to its logical extreme? Like, did you not know this was what was going to happen? Were you going to say, why aren't women being prosecuted? And the women aren't going to say, well, men are committing the crimes. Did you not think that was the next question? There was going to be a comparison. There is de facto a comparison when you say women are not women against who? Animals? Are you comparing women to aliens? Are aliens not getting prosecuted? Like, is that you are obviously comparing them to men. You made the comparison. You, Mr. Let Go, initiated the comparison. Why are you now asking why are they comparing women to men? You made that I'm done. I'm tired. They convince themselves that their grace in the world for Black women. That must be how they excuse our advancing. Mr. Let Go is so unqualified to speak on anything, period. For info on sentence differences, Office of Justice Program, Department of Gender differences in the sentence. We're talking about prosecution, and the bias that exists does not exist. You know what? I'm not doing this with you. Not with you, but just generally. I'm not doing this. You don't get to sit there and make claims without proving them. That is important.
We are totally different people, okay? Women do what women do, men do what women do. We can't compare men to women in almost any situation. Unless we're talking about black people.
Gotta get away with that though.
But isn't that what y'all have been doing this whole time? By trying to
Anything about a man. We literally were talking about women doing
Hold on, wait, hold on, y'all, hold on, y'all.
Okay,
Hold on, y'all, hold on,
get away with it.
hold on, y'all.
By the way, this is why I say one person speak at a time, because it's very difficult. Absolutely, yes. It is very difficult to hear when people aren't doing that. Now, when people are talking over each other. When you think about conviction and sentencing, those are two very different things. And I was too dismissive of the comment that talks about sentencing. There are differences in sentencing, and yes, the outcomes can be hugely problematic. You still have to prove certain things. You have to prove that this is by gender. You have to prove that this is by race. And you can look at the desperate outcome to make that argument. In law, now you probably can't, right? But for this discussion, you could. If you want to come up and make the argument, you are going to have to prove that the women who commit the crime, like the men, commit the same crime, right? That they have the same amount of evidence, that their past history was the same. And then you have to look at the sentencing guideline in each jurisdiction to make sure those are comparable to that of the jurisdiction where men are being imprisoned and sentenced, right? And then you can make a comparison in terms of the outcome to say that the gender, after you have factored for every single variable, not every, but most variable that are impactful, right? Then you can make the comparison that, well, the only difference, right, the differentiating factor here is gender. I am not saying you can't do that, but I'm going to need you to do that. Because I didn't know women were just killing men and walking away. I didn't know this. I did not know women were getting caught. There was evidence of it beyond a reasonable doubt and getting away with it. I didn't know that. So if you have that information, please bring it forward. Please. Oh, I'm talking to Bon Bon. I don't know her name. Just call me Bon. Oh, she said she wasn't disagreeing. I wasn't disagreeing. Even in the article, it shows that women are more harshly punished for some crimes and men for. Oh, all right. Got it. Sorry. I apologize. The thing is, I am annoyed and I apologize because this was not supposed to be aimed at you necessarily. It's just, I hate the fact that so many people get into these debates and feel like they can just make stuff up. Like, it's okay to say, I don't know. Like, it is okay to say, I don't know. Afro Butterfly, you have been a member for 2 months. Thank you. The vid or must we have fees? No. We're past.
Hold on, y'all.
KJ, this is.
Wait. Let Kay make her point.
You cannot have it both ways, where you're like, women should get the same thing as men. Then 3 seconds later, be like, well, we can't compare men and women. You got to stand on something because that doesn't make any sense. Like,
yo, she is dragging Mr. Let Go by that phantom the phantom follicle. Period. She is not easing up. She is on his neck. I'm glad I didn't see this part. She is on. I literally went through all of that because I didn't know she got there. She like, you gotta stand for something. You cannot compare men to women. Then when I continue the comparison, you are pretending like you didn't do that. Drag him, drag him, drag him. Say was true. Could women be getting softer sentences due to the patriarchy that these men claim to love? Women are seen as less threatening. No. Okay. Well, that's the actual EM. That is the second part of this. Who is giving them the sentencing? Who? Who is giving them who built the system? You claim that men are the builder. Who are the judges? Who are the people who are the people writing these laws? Are women, are we in a patriarchy now? In a matriarchy? Is America a matriarchy? Is that what you're saying? Okay, cool. Women have power, more power than you. Got it. Got it. Thank you. Phantom follicles took black men out of the home.
Okay, so I'm gonna say them something.
Figure it out.
Nobody said that, okay?
Y'all don't even believe what you claim.
Nobody said that.
That's where the confusion comes in.
We were saying that women don't get punished for their behavior. We didn't say women don't get punished like men do. Y'all did that. Nobody.
He's lying. We're gonna go back. Should I go back now? I'm gonna go back. I hope I can find it. So we're at 450.
Police before.
No, I'm gonna start calling them now.
All right, let's hear it.
Like,
I can explain.
I'll listen to you. I'll listen to you, but there's certain things that just don't need to be said. Like,
I can explain. No problem. So no, it's okay. It's all about conversation. This can help the people in the chat. They may have felt the same way. So the reason why I brought this up is because Logic was just like, yo, women can run around doing stupid shit and they have no consequences. And I came in and said, it's actually worse than consequences, because if I slap somebody, I'm gonna go to jail or something like that, right?
Is that not a comparison? Aren't you comparing men to women? Didn't you you literally, Mr. Let Go is the one, actually thought it was him, Mr. Logic, who made the comparison initially. Mr. Let Go is the one who made the comparison. He literally said, if a woman and a man do the same thing, the man is going to get charged and the woman is not. You're the one who made the comparison. How are you mad? You're literally lying. You are literally lying up here. I'm not about to say you don't know, remember. I'm going to just go with your lying. You're literally lying. I'm glad Kay remembered. I am very glad she remembered. This is such a useless conversation. My blood pressure is even up. Lies. You literally made the comparison. I'm glad we can go back.
Consequences, because if I slap somebody, I'm gonna go to jail or something like that, right? If a woman slaps somebody, not only would she not go to jail, she would be protected by other men, like Logic said, and pulled to the side and babied, like, you okay? Why did you slap him? What did he do to you? You know what I'm saying? So it's actually more than consequences. And I just went a little farther as far as when women do stupid shit, like slap somebody, that's his example. And my example was like just having babies by losers, which most women do. And that is another example of stupid shit. And they turn around and get incentivized for doing stupid shit. Therefore, what I was saying was directly in context with the conversation.
Mr. Let Go, do you think that there are no women that have got
That just annoyed me. I hate when people do this. I really like, even when people come on this show, this stream, and they're like, I never said that. And you have to stop and go rewind it to let them literally hear that they definitely said having an education and having a relationship are incompatible. You have to literally go back to show them that they definitely say that. Like, no, I got this point. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Because either you didn't believe it when you said it so flippantly you forgot it, or you're just not really having a good faith conversation and you're just trying to win. Either way, I don't really care to have any more talk with you.
Dude with a bottle, the men are going to protect her from herself.
Nobody said anything about men.
But can
I think what she's talking about is what I
Nobody said anything about men.
Right. Which is what I said was, I'll clarify. What I said was, if a man is able to be tried, prosecuted, whatever, for doing one particular thing, and a woman does the exact same thing, she should be tried, prosecuted the exact same way as we are when it comes to like children and some of the things that we talked about earlier, some of y'all examples. That's what I was saying.
I know.
All right. So this man just went back and also confirmed that he was saying women should be treated like men. Like he literally is saying he is comparing men to women. Like you literally just. So y'all just gonna sit there and gaslight the women on the panel. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all just gonna sit there and Mr. Letgo, who is comparing? Why are you women comparing men to women? Blah 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 blah. Mr. Letgo is never talking about anything. And this man is gonna come back and say, yeah, what I was saying is that women should be treated as men are treated because we're comparing men to women. Make it make sense for me. Make it. Yo, I don't understand. I will not be watching this or reviewing any more clips from this unless something huge happens, because I am not about to do it. I like this person, the KA show. I don't know her, but what she's been doing thus far has been very well done. Like, she is pristine in her execution of the dragging. She is pristine in her execution of the dragon. And I'm sure she's not even looking at the chat, because the chat is probably chaotic over there, over those parts. She is dragging them, and she is not stopping for a breath. She does not seem bothered. She does not seem heightened in any way. All the men at the top seem hyper emotional, really. And she is just calm as a cucumber, dragging them across the floor, just dragging all of them. And I am here for it.
I agree with that. But like Mr. Letgo, I'm wondering why Mr. Letgo didn't just tell you can't compare men and women like he said earlier.
Okay, I'm finna compare. Wait. I'm gonna compare men and women, right?
That's not comparing.
No, not I'm going to compare. That's what you have been doing. That is what the panel has been doing. That's why you were mad. If you thought men were getting sentenced at a harsher rate than women and you were fine with it, this conversation wouldn't be happening. Y'all are mad that you believe in some fantastic world that women can just literally go out there and do whatever and there will be no consequences for their behavior. That's what y'all believe. And so the idea that you're up here saying, oh, we are not trying to compare men to women. No, you are literally doing it. Every single one, including Mr. Letgo, has compared men to women in terms of outcome and punishment. That is it. That is all. That is what y'all have been doing. So don't gaslight these women into thinking that y'all aren't comparing men to women. No. So when they drag you by saying, oh, cool, fine, who do you think is committing most of the homicide? Yeah, who? Mr. Letgo t-shirt is styling on them. I see the word. I can't.
I see rats fight all the time, right? And you know what I see? Police break them up and send them each their way. I also see men get in a fight, and I see handcuffs come out. I see women abuse men. Men will be pulled out the house and say, hey, go stay at the hotel. I see cops that don't take them serious. Cops will look at men with like, you know what?
Girl, why is he crying? Here's the thing. Even if that were true, Isn't that a problem with your system that you claim men created? Like, who is doing this? Aren't men the one doing this? Are the women? Look, I'm not about to do this with you. Y'all are mad that in a patriarchy, women are seen as more fragile. Who made that rule? Who did that? Did women say we are too fragile, or did men? Like, even if women said it, men have to agree to it. Like that's how the society works, unless you don't believe we're in a patriarchy. Like, I don't understand why. I don't know why you're mad. I don't know why you're mad. Unless you accept that in whatever patriarchy this is, you are not a leader in the patriarchal system. You don't write the laws, you don't enforce the laws, you don't interpret the laws. You are excluded from that and actually subjugated by it. Now, if you're willing to say that, we might actually start having a conversation about white supremacy. But I'm sure you're not going to want to do that, because that would require accepting subjugation.
You just got a black eye and a couple of scratches. But if we reverse, it'll be different. The consequences is different. And women are violent, but now men just don't report it, and cops don't take it serious.
Okay,
and don't take it serious. You
so
got
Logic,
the truth.
Logic, do you think men and women are equally as aggressive and violent as each other?
They're not equal on
Black
anything.
women, yes.
She is dragging. Who is she? This is to you, my dear. K person, that is to you. That is to you. That is, whoever you are, my dear, you are asking the right question. You're dragging at the right time. The way you question is pristine. Like, you seem like you are seasoned on whatever panel this is and dealing with these men. This was pitch perfect. Let's go back a little bit and see how she snuck that in there, because that's beautifully done. And the reason I know it's beautifully done is because I heard the response just now. And on the top, there was a fracture. There was a huge fracture, because Mr. Logic said, yes, men and women are the same. So I'm very curious to hear why he said that. He's probably going to use feminism as a scapegoat. But the people over here say, no, men and women aren't the same. This is quite interesting. So she just disrupted this whole thing, and I love it. I love that for them. Let's hear it.
Different. The consequences is different. And women are violent, but now men just don't report it, and cops don't take it serious.
Okay,
and don't take it serious. You
so
got
Logic,
the truth.
Logic, do you think men and women are equally as aggressive and violent as each other?
They're not equal on
Black
anything.
women, yes.
Because Logic, you
Girl! Welcome, manifesting Tommy. Thank you. I appreciate that. We going, because these men don't even know what they want. They needed to come together, huddle up, and figure out what the message was before they came on here. The Peep Show is a headache. Overly emotional men with phantom hairline and beards with wait, not y'all, please. All right, let me ask one request. Let me ask one request, because I was wrong for this. It just kind of came out. It just kind of came out in the heat of being petty, and I don't think I should. I think I should end it. Please don't take ghost follicles and phantom hairline and phantom follicles further than here. Let's leave it here. We can use it continuously in the chat for this video, because I already let it out of the box. But let's because I don't I don't want that to come back to me. And I feel like Karma, she's not a good person. Karma is not a good person. And I don't want my hair to start falling out. I feel like if I put that kind of energy in the world, there is nowhere for it to come but back at me. I mean, I feel like there's nowhere in this world that energy is going to come but back at me. So like let's not put that on me.
Just worth telling. I think it was on me and Kayla's show. You were just saying something about testosterone and aggression and all this stuff. Now you're saying that women are just as violent and aggressive as men. Like, I'm just trying to see what you actually believe.
Yes, if you listen to what I said, without you trying to remix, I said now the modern day black women is raised to be men. You motherfuckers don't care. Look, I done seen the smallest chick buck up to the biggest black dude, and guess what? She don't give two fucks. Like,
you've seen a lot of stuff, Logic. What do you do?
Angry. When we went to Atlanta, we were saying the exact same thing.
What do you do, Logic?
Flop, ice eating, pickle eating, Cheeto eating chicks. We went to Atlanta. Now, wait, Q. Wait. See, because y'all love to say I'm lying on this panel. Q, was we not seeing furry flip-flop chick everywhere we went?
We did.
What does that have to do? Logic,
I'm saying this is what you do. You need to get
That doesn't even have to do with anything.
You keep saying people lie about things.
I didn't say you lied. I literally never said you lied. I said that the points weren't adding up.
Yeah. So she said your viewpoints weren't added up. She never said you lied. Now, here's the thing. It's interesting to me because, like, I don't even know why you would waste so much intellect on that panel. I don't know why you would do something like that. The reality is these men get hyper emotional when they lose. They all start laughing, they downplay the topic, and then they move on. They don't sit in the fact that they were wrong. This is actually very frustrating to me. Like, you bring these women up there to embarrass them, essentially. I don't know about this channel. You sit there and this lady named Kay decide today is the day and she is that girl, right? There's a lady named Kay who says, today is the day and I am that girl. And she decided to drag all of y'all, drag you all across the floor, all across Beyonce's internet. She destroyed y'all and your argument. And y'all are going to sit up there and laugh and not pretend like there wasn't a fracture in the man's at the top. At the top, one man said women and men are equal. The other man said equally aggressive. The other man said, no, they're not even equal in any way. No, y'all need to figure that out and then come back to me. The point at which you figure out if men and women are equal, and then you can come back to me. Are they physically the same? Y'all need to figure that out and then come back to me. We're not about to sit here and have a debate with men about women and manhood where the men don't even agree on manhood. We're not about to do that. Y'all don't know what y'all are talking about, essentially. Y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. There is no logic up at the top, because if there were, then y'all could have came together and agree on reasoning. Y'all could have done some research on, I don't know, muscle mass, aggression, crimes, who commits more crimes. Y'all could have been on one accord when you came up there and decided to speak about who is more aggressive. Y'all could have. The research is there. I'm not about to do it for you, but you could have done it. So that is that on that. I feel like I should have been drinking tonight as opposed to having Cersei tea. I mean, I feel for the next videos, I probably should just go get, because I'm actually getting frustrated and I want to be chill. And I want to sit here and be upset. I want to be chill and laugh. It seems it's the men who quick to run up on women folk, right? Woman folk. Who says that? All right. So we're going to go further into the depth of mess. I'm trying to figure out how I should do this. All right. I know how I'm going to do this. All right. O'Shea Duke Jackson is next on the roster. He made a video a couple days ago. There was a viral TikTok, I believe it was, and it was this lady, I think she was a white lady, and she was explaining why, in her mind, why white women would date black men. And I found it interesting. I didn't think O'Shea Duke Jackson would respond to it. In fact, I thought if he would reject it. So when I watched this, I went back to find he deleted a video, and I know he deleted this video, but I do have it. I do I do have the video on this. And there was a video when Kevin Samuels was in Miami, I think, and he said that Maria and Ling Ling and all of them were learning to cook, so black women better watch out. And that black women, these women knew how to compete for black men and they were better at the competition. He threw in his hat and he explained it. So it's very interesting now to see him respond to this video. So here it is. Let's get into it.
About 5 days ago, I came across an email that she's white. By the name of Melissa, I will not. Subscriber wanted me to. About 5 days ago, I came across an.
All right, look. So I'm going to do something that I've never done. I'm going to leave this up for a minute. I'm going to run and grab a drink. It's going to be literally a minute, but I'm just going to let you guys bask in this for a minute and then I'll be right back. I'm sorry, I do need a drink. Welcome back. All right, let's continue. No. I got a cider thing.
Email that subscriber wanted me to talk about, and it comes from a young lady by the name of Melissa. I will not show her last name. She says, "Hi, O'Shea. This may be worth dissecting. White woman in video says that some white men or white women date black men because they feel racially superior over black men and can exude power over black men in the relationship, whereas they could never hold as much power while dating a white guy. What's your take on this? As always, thanks for your hard work." So, wow, that was a very powerful email. And so what I wanted to do is actually play this particular clip, and then we're going to come back and then dissect it.
White women love black men because of the power dynamic, because white women have never had any power over men in their lives. Because obviously all the white men in their lives have always had all the power over them. So white women have whiteness over black men. And obviously to be in any sort of like control feels good, especially when you're used to never being in control. White women feel safe with black men, not only because of the hypermasculinity that they believe black men exhibit, but because of the whiteness and power they hold over black men. This is why also white women can still be racist and be with black men. And be like conservative white women will be like married to a black man. And this is why white women love their black sons and hate their black daughters. Black sons give you access to the patriarchy, they give you power, whereas black daughters don't.
So, guys, you heard what was stated on the video. Now, let me just say this before I kind of break down what I believe she's saying. I was able to meet a lot of white women who date black men exclusively. I've talked to them in Europe, and what they have told me is that in comparisons to their own men, they feel like they have more say-so in the relationship, more power in the relationship, more freedom in the relationship, things like that. So if you're listening to it from this particular angle as a black man, you're like, well, shoot, that's great, because, you know,
when these the same people talking about they go to other people because of submission, what by these the same people, it's easy to say the manosphere. Wasn't O'Shea Duke Jackson the same man who camped up and agreed with Kevin Samuels that the reason black men are deciding to date other races of women are because they were more submissive? But you're saying these women are running amok now. They have power over these men. So what is the truth? Is the truth actually whiteness? That's all you wanted? Like, I don't understand how O'Shea Duke Jackson can agree with that woman in that video, and he's about to do it. Like, this is not okay. Like, you're not even, I mean, again, it goes back to the fact that these people don't actually think the people listening to them have a brain cell, apparently.
So her men are oppressing her. So for me, it's a really good deal to have this. But now, as you're really looking at it, you're looking at the real reasons why it is. And the real reason why it is because, not for all, but now white women feel somewhat superior to the black men that they date. And is it because of race? Yes, but it's also based on the pedestal that many black men put white women on. All right? Don't believe me? Let's talk about Danielle Bergroli, Cash Me Outside. She's white. In the white community, nobody would talk to her. Come over to the black sector. Guess what? What is different from her than black women? She's white. You can take a white woman with a big butt. She, in reality, can do anything, right? In the white community, don't get no respect. But guess what? Amongst the blacks, she'll be putting music videos, right? I've even heard about this in the pimp and hoe community, where you have pimps that worship white women and don't make them do the same thing they do with the black women in the game. What are we talking about? There is a certain level of evidence. I'm not saying all, but certain black men worship white women. Okay? We just need to be real. And also, white women know that they are white. Okay? They're dealing with black men.
Look, I don't need you to tell us that you're course correcting, but I'm going to need you to tell us you're course correcting. You can't do that. You can't do this. You cannot sit there and pretend like you did not make an entire video, and a ton of videos too, talking about why it is that black men decide to date white. Like, you can't do that. You can't pretend that that didn't happen. Look, date who you want. I don't care. I've never cared. Don't take dating advice from me. If you take, the only dating advice I'm giving is that you should probably be willing to be single forever, because at this point, these people are just absolutely useless. Like, how are you going to sit there out in this world, talk about how the reason men are leaving is because these women are submissive, then in the same breath saying these men who are leaving are going over there and they're submitting to these? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Are these women submissive or aren't they? We don't actually care. But if you're going to weaponize a group of women's submissiveness, right, if you're going to weaponize that against women in your community, they better be submissive. They better not be thinking they're better than you and actually be the ones holding power in those relationships, because then you are lying. I've heard Cynthia G has talked about this. I see a lot of people putting her name in the comments. And I've heard it. And you would think these men who are responding would not admit it. Because at this point, you're just admitting it, which, fine, I love to hear it. But I feel like they don't know that they're admitting it. Like, because you made a video. O'Shea, I'm about to show you O'Shea Duke Jackson talking about this again in a minute. The goalpost keeps moving when it comes to black men dating white women versus white women, black women versus, yes. There is literally no consistency. There is, at this point, it's like, why are you explaining anything? If you want to date someone, just go ahead and do it. And there's no reason for you to be sitting around online telling anyone. But you do it because you want to shame other women. All right, sure. You want to shame black women, go ahead. But now you're lying. You're lying, and everyone knows you're lying because you have no integrity. You have literally no integrity. None. Absolutely none whatsoever. And then you say, oh, I'm pro-black, but then you are making fun of a black woman being in prison in Russia. A whole different live show that I decided that I wouldn't put out there because it was too, like, I got way too pissed in there. These same men who sit up here and talk about how the criminal justice system is unfair and how possession and use of drugs and substances, whatever, once there is no violent crime involved, you shouldn't be locked up for it. They're out here justifying a woman being in prison overseas. Really? That's what we're doing, but you're black first? Absolutely not. You're not. Oh, you're just idiotic. Pick one. Thank you, Giggles. Thank you, Sphere. Sorry, I saw a post he did that really bothered me. It really absolutely bothered me about the situation in Russia, and I just don't want to talk about this.
And here's something I can also see. You can have a white woman who's not as attractive. She has a better chance of getting an attractive black man and also getting him to support her. Talk down to him. It happens. I'm not saying it always happens, but it's true. She said also something that's very important. You have white women who can be racist against black people, but will still marry black men. Well, we know about that when it comes to white men. There are some white men who are racist, but got black wives, right? You don't think there's white women who don't talk about black women's nappy hair or kinky hair and stuff like that? Yes, we know that. They do it more often than we might want to recognize. The reality is that white women understand what's going on here. That a black man will put them on a higher pedestal than a white woman on average. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but this is the reason why. This is the reason why a lot of white women are entitled when dealing with black men. Okay? Because you have some brothers, I'm just gonna say not all, you have some brothers who will go out and will talk about black women in the black community to white women and things like that. We're gonna be real. It happens. So now, what is the solution to such behavior? I know you guys are not gonna like this, and I know that every brother's not gonna feel like me, but now, this is why working with each other is so important, because it needs to be shown that, hey, if I'm a black man, you just can't come over here feeling like I'm just superior because you're white. Now, I know what you're going to see, and here's the situation. You're going to have white women who feel like this, like he's describing.
Let's go to other videos, because I'm not about to do this with O'Shea Duke Jackson. Here's why. I'm going to play something. Here's why. I hate the fact that he's pretending like he wasn't part of what, if this is true, right? If this is true, part of the reason it's true is because you, O'Shea Duke Jackson, and other men like you have talked about how great these women are by and large. right? And how horrible your own women are. Your own, as if you own any women. Your own. You own women. Wait. O'Shea Duke Jackson literally sits up there and told Black women that these women who are learning to cook. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely, let's do it. Let me speed this video up because I'm not about to sit here and pretend like O'Shea Duke Jackson didn't engage in the same behavior he's saying. The reason they think that is because other men are putting them on a pedestal. No, you, O'Shea Duke Jackson, put them on a pedestal. So here you go. As a reminder. Oh, I have a couple.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Guys, I want to talk about this particular situation because I got an email earlier today from an Instagram video that has went viral, if you will. And I'm saying this because the Instagram video within itself has posted within the video a culmination of clips in which young Black men are asked, you know, who would they prefer? White women or Black women, okay? Now, again, it's important to understand that these young Black men usually are between the ages, I would assume, 17 to 21, no older than 21. These are young men, all right? And 95% of the time, these young Black men are preferring white women, okay? Now, again, I'm 39. These young guys between 17 and 21, I don't know them, okay? I've never met any of these guys. I'm pretty sure none of them are familiar with the Black manosphere content. These are guys speaking on their own experiences. This is very, very important to understand this. What I would like to do is actually play this clip. And after you watch the clip, I'm going to come back and give my commentary. Let's go to the clip.
I like Black girls to like an extent, you feel me?
To an extent, what's the extent? The skin tone?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of Black girls?
Like either my complexion or lighter.
I'm darker than you, so you want to talk to me?
No. Okay. What scares the fuck out of me?
Wow.
Mean. Dark skins are mean.
What?
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
You even know me. I understand.
White girls did shit. White girls did that's judgy. She's like, y'all judgy me, y'all mean. That's double negative, bro.
All right, so I like Asian girls, really.
Yes,
Why?
because you gotta show the dark chocolate some love sometimes.
You like dark chocolate? He likes all the flavors of ice cream.
Types, yeah. You know how it goes.
Okay.
Which do y'all prefer, Black or white females? White. Like. I just like white females. You like white? Let's get her. White girls got that super head. Who you say more freaky? White girls. White girls. Okay. Black or white females? White females. All right, why? Black or white females?
Black.
All right, why though?
Cause like number one, like they got big ass booties. I don't give a fuck. And like you just like buying more with them because you know you say racism, right?
Black or white females? White girls. Black girls. Why you say that? I said white girls. You say white girls. Why you say that? You know they let you do it. Yeah, you know they let you do what you want. For sure. So you with the black right now, or you with the white girl? With the black girl. Black. All right. For black or white female? That's tough. That's tough.
Oh no. Let's pull that back up one more second because this is absolutely not okay. He's acting like a thief did when he pretended he didn't know what the manosphere is after offense. Yep. And still rolling, by the way. Wait, let's pull this up again. I'm not going to play it again. Let me just explain. He asked this guy, black or white female. The guy said white. He then asked, are you with a white female now? A white woman now? And he goes, no, I'm with a black woman now. Y'all be careful out here. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all be careful out here.
White female, I'm sorry, bro. Why you say white? I just like them, bro. That's just I like black girls. They like giving nigga attitudes and shit. Do y'all prefer black or white females? White.
God damn, you're not gonna let me finish my motherfucking sentence.
All right, why you say white? I feel like they just do it better. They do it better. White girls got it.
The white hoes.
White.
Man, the white hoes. The white
girls on top, but the white girls they hottie. Yeah. Who you think got more of an attitude though? Black.
All right, so you heard what the guys had to say. Now, let me say this. There's the one, the clip started off with this very, very beautiful young sister. Beautiful. And, the guy was talking about like he preferred a woman that is lighter, his color or above. All right. And she was like, why? You know what he said? Dark women are mean than lighter skinned women. Now, I have on my channel discussed that in my own personal experience. That I felt that lighter tone women have more. I'm not saying for all. I've met some very, very beautiful. I prefer darker skinned black women, right? I just mean. But I found out that from what I feel that lighter skinned black women, in my experience, have been a little bit more approachable, right? And white women altogether, you know, I'm not attracted to white women like that. But I can say that as far as being friendly, white women, in my opinion, have been more friendly in my experience than, on average, than African American women. Not saying better, I will say friendly. Okay? At least initially, on the onset. And what is amazing about what these young guys are saying in this clip are the same things that black men are saying everywhere.
Please tell me you heard that. Like I'm not even going to read. Since the single only man article, they're starting to change their. You left his face on the screen unsubscribe. You left his face on the screen unsubscribe. Period. But you do get the whole friendly and submissive, right? Y'all get that. Oh, there is more. We're going to go through this because what we're not about to do is sit here and have O'Shea Duke Jackson, of all people, gaslight us and like, oh, white women are dating black men to dominate them and blah, blah. No, that's not what you said. That is not what you said. So please don't do that. And you're not going to sit here and pretend like you didn't just stereotype the entire group of black women. Like we're not going to pretend like you didn't say the lighter you get, the nicer you are. We're not going to pretend like you didn't say that. And then white women are friendly, at least on the onset. We're not going to ignore that. My best friend is divorcing her husband. A couple months back, in the heat of an argument, he blurted out that he's going to get him a white woman. Oh. Yep.
In the UK, I used to have a podcast that I would run with brothers like King Riches, Falcon Black, Senator Truth. This is London. These are guys that we don't know. Shout out to my brothers, King Riches and Falcon Black. And make sure you guys go subscribe to them. But they don't know. They never lived around me. And what is disturbing is these black men have the same complaints as anybody else, all right? And this is very, very, very important for what I'm talking about here. And what this points to is that this is just not a black male shaming tactic. It is not just young black men complaining. Now, for some of them, it might be, the white girls do a little bit more in bed or something like that.
All right. So he just justified that it's not just black men complaining, because all these men are saying the same thing about black women and being mean and whatever, right? So come again with who has power in that relationship. We're not going to sit here and pretend like you didn't just do that. But I'm bored with this video. Let's move to another, because why not?
About interracial dating. Obviously, here on this channel, it's a very touchy subject. That there are some guys who don't believe in it, and there are some guys who are open to it, and there are some guys who feel that it's their only option. But I believe it's always a good conversation to have amongst African American men, and obviously some brothers from London and the UK and parts of Africa and parts of Europe. And I was having this discussion with my brother RB the Breakthrough. You may know him now as Randy Booker. Go check out his channel below at the first comment and subscribe at the bell. He does similar content to me now. Okay, but we were talking about our past current dealings with women, and he was talking about one lady in particular that they had dealt with in the past, and some of the things that she would do for him that was let's say out of the ordinary because she really liked him. All right, and and there's been a lot of black men's experience who have dealt with white women, but normally we're talking about here a very attractive white woman. That means a white woman who white men consider a 9 or 10, not a white girl with a big booty or a white woman that's looking like a black chick. I'm talking about a conventional 10, a Vanna White, Wheel of Fortune, attractive, conventional, beautiful white woman, right? And RB the Breakthrough has.
This guy makes me sick. The sad thing is that black women are subscribed to this guy. O'Shea is always pushing the black woman, white woman agenda. I don't know who sent him. Yeah. But he always tries to remind us that he's black first, which if you keep having to remind, look, let me come big for this. If you keep having to remind people you are something, you might not actually be that thing. There is no reason why, if you are quote unquote black first, people shouldn't be able to watch your content and know that from your content. There is absolute, if you have to keep telling me you are that girl, you are probably not that girl. It's probably Beyonce. If you keep telling me you are the best singer in the world, the best performer in the world, it's probably not true. It's probably Beyonce. That's probably what it is. There is absolutely no way that I'm going to believe that you are what you say you are without seeing it. So the fact that you have to tell us is because you know, you literally know that it's not true. Or you know that by people watching your video, I will put a caveat before something that I say because I know what I'm saying could be misinterpreted. But if you have to do it in every single video, you have to remind people that you're black first, it's probably because people would forget that you're black first by watching your video. That is probably why. No one is going to know that you're black first by watching your videos based on the content you're producing, which is why you keep having to reiterate in every single video that you're black first, because you might not actually be black first. It's not showing. It's not showing. So because it's not showing, you're going to have to tell us. You're going to keep telling us. You're going to keep trying to remind us that you're black first. These disclaimers, girl, absolutely not. Stop the doing and do. Be black first. Stop telling us you're black first. Be it. You won't have to tell us when you are it. We will know based on the fruit you produce. Isn't that like a Bible verse in the Bible verse somewhere? You will know the tree by the fruit it produces. The fruit you produce, they're rotten. They're rotten. That's what they are. So no, if I have to tell you if you're black first every single time, if I have to remind you you're black first, you're not. If you have to remind me, you're not. If the fruit I'm eating is not an apple, it's probably not picked from an apple tree. It is that simple.
Dealt with those women, and those women typically have chosen him over other men when they had the opportunity to choose other people. And why are attractive white women competing for high value white men? And there's this myth from lower thinking brothers that it's just the myth of the big BC. This is the reason why white women are competing for black men that are attractive, and it's because of their swag, it's because of their slang, and it's because of the sex game. And when I hear black men talk like this, I just think that these group of men are so stupid, and it has nothing to do with the truth. Because even in those respective races, I'm pretty sure they have guys who can screw good. They have guys who probably no homo, have what you may have, right? And they may have guys who are charismatic in their own way. High value white women are not picking black men for those normal ass reasons. That might be a plus. It might be something that they enjoy, but that's not it. But the reason why attractive white women are competing for high value black men, it has nothing to do with their race at all. Okay, but it has everything to do that black man has qualities that reminds her of an important man in her life, whether it's a father, okay, whether it's an uncle. It's a man that she can relate to that is a builder. Okay, that is why.
Absolutely not. I'm not going to sit here and listen to O'Shea Duke Jackson say white women are dating black men because black men are builders. I'm not saying we're not builders, but you can look at the stat for that. I'm not about to go in there. But what I am going to say is that is directly contradicting your statement earlier that the white women are out here dating black men because of power dynamics. So unless O'Shea from a year ago was right or this O'Shea's right, they both are not right. They both are not right. You can say, well, he means some. You spoke generally. You spoke generally. So you get it. You're getting this general drag. Now, I'm going to wrap this up with something that I think. No, I'm not going to wrap this up yet. Let's do one more. Not O'Shea. I'm tired of O'Shea. But let's do this.
forced to carry that baby. That's 70,000 people as a result of an extremely sensitive or risky pregnancy or incest or in that scenario, is that trade-off worth it to you?
The answer, sadly, is yes, because if you look at the other children that have been deleted because of
Boy said
deleted.
That's the reason I'm so passionate about this subject.
Yes.
I was when I was 16. I had to go to a court and get a lot of things done because my parents did not know I was going to have an abortion because I did not want to know that I got when I was 16. So for a motherfucker like this to sit next to me with such straight faces and say, oh, well, this is your fault. Y'all should do this, and this. What now happens to those 16 and 17 or younger girls that don't have nobody to protect them?
Why do women go on these podcasts? That's a serious question. I don't understand if there is no reason any reasonable woman should be sitting around with Mr. Let Go. There's none. There is no reason you should be talking to Mr. Let Go, trying to get advice from Mr. Let Go. There is none. He does not have the intellectual bandwidth to be providing any kind of information to anyone. He actually needs help himself. Building what? That emotional song. Sorry. Not everyone should have access to that kind of emotion. And when you speak truth about your own experience, sometimes the emotion comes out. And that's where you have to be selective in where you decide to expend your energy. I am not sitting here telling you that you shouldn't do it. I'm saying if you do go on these platforms and if you engage with these men, they are, in a lot of people's words and my own, energy vampires. And they're there to suck your energy out. Weaponize the fact that you're crying about an experience and use that to promote their podcast. That clip was to promote a podcast. That clip was to promote them. That clip was to make them amplified, to amplify their voice, to make sure that they are heard and that they can hurt other women. The fact that you are on there, and this is not, they're the ones doing the crime. So they, crime, I'm being very frivolous in sort of my word choice here. It's not an actual crime. But, and I actually hate the cavalier way I just did that, but I already did it. So let's continue down that path. When you go on there and you express yourself in that way, you're giving them ammunition. And ammunition, you want me to explain how? They're using your tears, your pain, your hurt, your emotions to elevate their platform. It is that simple. You can do it with men too. Like if you are speaking to someone who is disingenuous, they will use your hurt to amplify themselves, because that's what literally feeds this really disgusting ecosystem of online content creation, right? There was this lady, she was talking about abuse on, I think, Nickelodeon. She wrote a book and she talked about all these horrible people. And the headline for one blog was how she was jealous of Ariana Grande. And I couldn't wrap my head around, out of everything in the book that you should make the headline, you took the fact that she said she was jealous of Ariana Grande when they were children to amplify clicks on your website and on your Instagram, and you did not provide any information about the actual harm that was taking place in Hollywood to hold the people who are actively engaged in these behaviors accountable. You literally use the most idiotic part of the book to make clicks. Like how is that okay? And so when I see this lady reacting to Mr. Let Go and they cut away to that, they're using her pain, because it's not like, let's be clear, it's not like none of these men, any of them, none of them will change their opinion based on the fact that she cried, and they use the fact that she was sad about an experience that was horrible to her. It's not like any of them are going to change their minds. None of them will be changing their minds anytime soon. But what will happen is that there will be more clicks on their Instagram and more people downloading that podcast to listen to that episode where that lady cried and see what happens, and then they will move on. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So while I can't tell you not to go on certain platforms, and I'm not that paternalistic, and I'm stopping that on my platform too. I'm not going to just delete an entire live because people came up here and made a fool of themselves. Instead of cutting it and making it go viral, I decide to cut it and remove it from the internet completely because I think it's embarrassing, and I'm not here to embarrass people, right? Fine. Know that that is not what is happening when you go over to these platforms. And even on this platform, please be careful what you disclose and also how you disclose it, because these people don't care. They don't care. The fact that you made that, they don't care. I saw a tweet that said there should now be psychological evaluation done before people are allowed to buy microphones and start podcasts. I agree. I agree. Even if that means mine would be taken away, I agree. I think it is a small price to pay myself not being able to speak, is a small price to pay for a lot of these people, right? You deleted that Pink Pill live where she lost it. Why are you here? I deleted a lot of live, actually Orange Pill. I made a clip of you reacting to Pink Pill after you went on your channel to pretend like you didn't do what you said you did. But be sure that I have deleted, and you know what I'm going to do? I am going to go back through. This is what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to find those clips that I've removed, and I'm going to put them back out there. I don't think you care, but the reality is you keep bringing up Pink Pill, and I don't know why people keep doing that. But I've removed countless amount of live streams for countless amount of people. I have. And so, no, you don't get to just come here and drop it. But anyway, it won't happen again. I promise you it won't happen again. So the next time y'all decide to make a fool of yourself, know that it will be up here. Know that. All right. Let's get into this final video.
There's apparently been a recent rise in what are being called lonely single men. And when you look at the numbers, the trend is pretty clear. If you take a look at this chart from Pew, the percentage of men that are without a spouse or a partner has been increasing from back in 1990 at 29% of those between 25 and 54. It's now, I'm not great at numbers, but I'm gonna say 50% higher at 38. Now, you do have a rise in cohabitation that is becoming more common, but even when you consider that, there are more men of sort of prime dating years that are not dating or married. And the data shows that fairly clearly. It's been rising for about 30 years. And in fact, now men are more likely than women to be unpartnered. That was not the case several decades ago. You can actually take a look at that trend over time in this next chart. Women are at a higher rate, going from 29 to 36% over about 3 decades. But the men are higher. And there has now been this divergence right there. And look, depending on who you talk to, they interpret this in a different way. And the stakes of the the debate or interpreted differently. Some would point out, as Pew has in this chart, that unpartnered men fare worse economically than partnered men. I would question the direction of the causal arrow there. It is possible that it's not a causal thing, or maybe there's a percentage or a share of both directions. I don't know. But anyway, this is a real thing. And my fear, Adrian, is that the dominant response to this will come from the incels, who very often move rapidly from an acknowledgement of the problem to demonizing other men and all women. In fact, potentially moving to lethal threats of violence or carrying it out. Or people like Jordan Peterson and Tucker Carlson, massive grifters that play to men's fear about their masculinity. They're grifters, they're lying, they're awful. But the problem is actually there. What do you think about it?
I think you're absolutely right about the consequences of this reality. People just need to fully come to terms with the fact that historically women needed men because that's how the oppression structure was set up. We were hostages. We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death because men used force to keep us under their thumb. Now, fortunately, things have evolved, and guess what? We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are running around, running amok, expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that. So of course you see so many men who are single because they've never realized that they need to actually be tolerable individuals. And as a result, they are single because
You are not going to convince me. You are not going to convince me that she was not waiting for this drag. She was waiting. Look. She was waiting. We're going to replay this. I'm not about to not replay that. We're going to replay that because she was waiting for this drag. She's not reading. She is going in. Let's go back. She said, I'm sick and tired of this foolishness. I am done. And y'all are all going to get this drag. Wait. I only played it for her. But she was like, I'm going in the library today, got my new glasses in, got my contacts in. I am ready to read the entire library of books. So let's get into it.
Fully come to terms with the fact that historically women needed men because that's how the oppression structure was set up. We were hostages. We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death because men used force to keep us under their thumb. Now, fortunately, things have evolved, and guess what? We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are running around, running amok, expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that. So of course you see so many men who are single because they've never realized that they need to actually be tolerable individuals. And as a result, they are single because nobody wants your ass. So of course, just wants that. So of course you see so many men who are single because they've never realized that they need to actually be tolerable individuals. And as a result, they are single because nobody wants your ass. So of course, just like a job, if you want to actually do well and actually have the opportunity to have that, you need to develop the skills to be in a relationship. And that's what a lot of men need to do.
Look, if you think we're not going to watch that again, you have another thing coming. We are going to rewatch that again. Let me see. It's on a normal speed. Let's get our popcorn because I'm about to hear. Period, Noble B. Period. So let's get into this. I think, honestly, look, I don't give relationship advice, and I say that because this is a caveat, and I realize what I say could be taken as relationship advice, so I'm doing it. Look, if we are thinking about the realities of the world where women actually don't need men to survive, I don't understand how it's difficult for men to learn other skills like communication. Yeah, they're like, wait, I have to communicate when I have to learn to communicate. Absolutely not. That's where these men are drawing the line at communication. Period. Woo. All right, let's do it. Let's get into this again. Let's get into this.
You know, people just need to fully come to terms with the fact that historically women needed men because that's how the oppression structure was set up. We were hostages. We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death because men used force to keep us under their thumb. Now, fortunately, things have evolved, and guess what? We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are running around, running amok, expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that. So of course you see so many men who are single because they've never realized that they need to actually be tolerable individuals. And as a result, they are single because nobody wants your ass. So of course, just like a job, if you want to actually do well and actually have the opportunity to have that, you need to develop the skills to be in a relationship. And that's what a lot of men need to do.
I agree.
Look, wait. I didn't realize he said I agree. I didn't realize that because I've heard saying this so many times today. I can't count it. And I promise I've not watched the video beyond her saying this. I've only watched her saying this. Literally just on replay. Sis don't even need a cue card or post-it note. She came prepared to pass the final exam. Period. She came ready to drag me here. I woke up and chose to read. Drag and drill. Period. Yeah, it's the read for me. No need for post-it. No thank you. The email. I'm good. Period. She is dragging. Let me hear what this man said afterwards. I'm sorry, I didn't hear what he said.
Look, I think that what you just talked about represents probably the lion's share of this. I bet there's probably a little bit over the last 3 decades of some of the begrudging increased acceptance of the LGBTQ community that might be influencing these numbers a little bit. There's some economic changes and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think that you're largely right. I think, and by the way, it's one of the reasons why people like Tucker Carlson feel that they can play to guys misplaced, like pining for old school men.
Girl, he don't know what to do with himself. He don't know what to do. Look, lady, if you ever want to come here and repeat, look. I just want to talk to you one time. I just want to talk to you. He is discombobulated. He don't know what to do. He does not know what to do. If he is up or down, he does not know what's happening. He is very much confused.
Masculinity, they won't necessarily all state it, although some do, but they miss being owners of women, basically. They wish that they still had that. So anyway, I was reading about this on Psychology Today, and there was this guy, Greg Matos, who had, based on his research doing like, group therapy and stuff like that, what he thinks could possibly help this. He says upwards of 62% of users on dating apps are men now. There's a disparity there, so there's more competition on the male side. He says recurring dating themes from women of that age range that he's talked to is they prefer men who are emotionally available, good communicators, and share similar values, which seems reasonable to me.
It seems reasonable to you, don't it? It's not reasonable. It's like these men have been sending death threats or threats. I don't know if it's death threats to the psychologist. This poor psychologist wrote his work, put it out there, and these men got so upset that they're threatening this man. The man literally said, "You need to improve yourself as man," and they started sending threats to this man. Like, you heard me correctly. A paper, a report, a pamphlet, a news article, whatever it is, comes out and says men need to improve themselves if they want to be partnered with women. If you don't want to be partnered with women, then it doesn't apply. If you want to be partnered with women and you think you should improve yourself, then why are you sending threats to this? Why are you sending threats to this man? Please explain to me why you are sending threats to this man who tells you to improve. It literally says you need to learn to communicate better. Maybe if you knew how to communicate better, you could make a counter article explaining why you think he is wrong instead of sending him threats. Now you're probably going to go to jail.
The issue is that the guys doing the advice giving for men, I feel like that's not often what their advice is about you learning to be emotionally available, supportive.
Okay, I promise I didn't hear this. That's literally what I just said. The content creation ecosystem drives a very specific kind of message. Build women, build women, build women. Women, you're not enough. You're not enough. You need to be more. You need to be more. You need to be soft, sweet, and submissive. But that's not where the issue is. The issue is in the man's inability to assimilate in the new reality where they don't own women, where women can fend for themselves so they don't actually need you for your money. Now, you should probably come with some resources, but you should also come. Look, the resources are bare minimum. You should be coming with your ability to communicate, your ability to understand, your ability to help, your ability to lead in terms of family. Not that you are the leader, but that you both lead in your family, right? That you are a partnership in my mind. Now, look, maybe I could be way off, because a lot of women have been saying they're looking for their leader. So look, girl, if you're looking for your leader, go look for your leader. These men might not be able to provide for themselves, hold down a job, but by virtue of them being men, you think they're leaders, period. Go off, sis. You got this. I'm not about to fight you on that. Go find your leader. That is fine with me. But in my opinion, the communication about being better should be aimed at the people who are not doing well. And the people who are not doing well, there was that guy that said he had to turn gay. Maybe gay and trans men will. Girl, we're not we're not doing this tonight. All right. So, we have very limited time left. I feel like instead of going, let's just open up the panel, because we have 20-ish minutes to talk. I want to finish this, but I'm not about to, because I'm literally, my moderators and I said we needed to hold each other accountable. So I'm about to open the thing, and it will be for 30 minutes. So everyone who comes on, you'll get a minute to talk, and then we'll move on. I apologize. I should have watched the time. Thank you, Zizi, for keeping me on track. Should I order food on Postmates or whatever Uber Eats and wait till it gets here and then decide based on the time when it gets here when I should go? Well, let me look. Let me go check. Well, is there any Jamaican food or Jamaican place open? Let me check. I actually cooked, but I don't want the food that I cook. Let's see. Uber Eats it is. Let's go to Uber Eats. All right. There's a Jamaican spot, and all right, let me get oxtail, jerk chicken, curry goat. What else? Oh, they have escovitch fish. All right, rice and peas. All right. Tip, blah, 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 blah. All right, sorry. Not me being absolutely disrespectful right now. All right, we have until 9:15. We have until 9:15, 9:20. Excuse my ignorance, but is a partnership 50-50, 50% of the bill domestic work? I don't know. A partnership is whatever you want it to be. You negotiate whatever relationship you want. When I'm hungry, I order literally everything. I order literally everything that I see, and then I cannot eat any of it. So that I'm gonna have food here for like the rest of the week. So that's that on that. All right, oh God, it's Stan the Man, the first one. Go ahead.
Hello, Timas. How are you?
You have a minute. I'm doing well.
I'm listening to your show and everything. Great show, like usual. So I'm trying to understand. So you believe that in a relationship there shouldn't be a leader, or you believe in the partnership? So when a decision needs to be made by the family, who makes the final decision?
I that's not necessarily what I believe. I believe you can structure a relationship how you want, but to the extent that it's an egalitarian relationship, are you confused about how decisions are made when people are equal?
No, I'm confused. I believe that the woman is supposed to be your helpmate. She could come with advice,
No,
but
no, 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 no,
go
no,
ahead.
no, no.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
wait. That's fine. You can believe that, but your question to me was, when you're all equal, how do we know who should make a decision? Isn't that your question?
Yeah. Who should make the final decision? Yes, that's my question.
All right. So, are you telling me that do you have friends?
Yes, of course.
Do you guys go out to eat?
Yes, of course.
Who makes the decision in where to go to eat?
Well, we would do it together. I guess we would all basically say together, like, we would like to go there, and I guess we vote. Well, we don't vote for it. We say, oh, that sounds like.
So, are you telling me that when people are equal, they can come together and make decisions?
Yes, I agree with you. They can make decisions. I'm just saying, when it comes to a situation, who makes the final decision? I'm not saying that the woman doesn't have a say to what she has to say in the relationship. She has a say. She is supposed to be your helpmate. She's not there to be your slave or whatever. She's supposed to come with advice and with her knowledge, everything that she has to bring, and everything. She has experience. She knows this stuff and everything. She knows some stuff that maybe you don't know, but the final decision comes to you. I have no problem with a woman telling me.
Okay, well, your time is up, but I will note that you came up to ask how we know who is supposed to make a decision. And if they're all equal, y'all can all make the decision together. So I think I answer your question directly. Now, you're positing that you believe that the man should lead. And that's fine if that's what you believe, but I'm only answering your question. We can have a debate on whether men should lead at another time.
Okay. And can I ask another question, a final one? Just one question, and then I'll leave and everything. Just wanted you to answer the question, because I even said in the chat and everything that I'm gonna say something that maybe a lot of Black women hear and everything. And I want to give advice. I'm not putting Black women down and everything, but a lot of Black men, me included, and I did go out with some Black women. Don't get me wrong. Can't stand the attitude that some Black women have. Not all Black women, but some do. And I'm asking you, do you believe that some Black women do have attitude? Do you believe that us Black men are being stupid or are selling you this and we're completely naive and it's not true at all?
That's a non-starter. Do some Black people have attitude? Black women, Black men? Yes. That why does that matter? Just find people who don't have attitude. No, I think that's easy. If you don't like the attitude, find someone who doesn't have that attitude.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Concern, go ahead. He got 2 minutes, so everyone now gets 2 minutes.
Bless him. I'm so glad he came up because I'd like Stan to explain to me what is unique about Black women's attitude next time he comes up, because he'll be back. What is unique about Black women's attitude? And if Black women were to make a complaint about Black men's mindset, would we be able to negotiate the same level of accountability? First. Second of all, it's so sad to me. Now I'm not talking about Stan. It's so sad to me that Black men keep being the image that's used for the guy who is unchosen, so the third party in the love triangle. It's all over all the shows. And it's also, they're often the aggressor, the stereotype of masculinity, either entirely dinky, which is a technical term.
I'm pausing your time. You had a minute. I'm pausing your time because I want to come in. It doesn't make sense to me when men who know what, rephrase, men who are not the first choice of women are having like these conversations about women's submission. It's like, do you understand that you're gonna have to take what you can get? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No. And the thing about it is that, like, yeah, man. And like, y'all got white men out here telling you guys to stop being weirdos. That's what I saw. Like, get it together. Like, what would it take for Black men to, like, embarrassment alone would have gotten me in shape, bro. Like, dead serious. Like, and I kind of personally just want to show, like, point that out. The optics are disgusting. You are the scapegoat of the entire psychological, economic, all the science, like all the communities that are looking at who is underperforming are using your face for it. And then you create videos validating everything they say with chest. I just don't understand how then after all of this, you're going to complain that people are being mean to you.
Yeah. Well, they're going to complain that regardless, but these people, I'm here for good standards. So regardless of how you look, you better have your standards. I'm not going to fight you on that. Thank you so much, Concern.
Thank you, Demon Spy.
So it's Paris and then wake up, make up. Go ahead, Paris. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, Themis. So I'm still trying to figure out why Black men overwhelmingly are determined to lead from behind, if that makes sense. They tend to want a position that they are not willing to place themselves in. They want to lead the home, but they don't want to provide for the home. They don't want to do everything that it takes to warrant what they're asking for. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's a psychological thing because of white supremacy, how they're raised. I don't know. But I feel like there's also a predisposition towards the most ignorant, tendencies when it comes to who they choose to be their mentors. There are tons of men, even men in other communities, that have been successful. They've been doing their thing. They've been building things, this and that. And you know, the people that they're choosing to follow in mass, the incels, the people that the most prominent, most influential men, or the people who have their stuff together, shun. So the greater
they're gonna be out here buying suits, thinking the suits going.
you need to sell men's furry slide-ons to match these suits, because
I'm gonna start selling things on here too. I might sell earring. Why did earring the first thing come to my mind? Go ahead.
Because I feel like they want the allure of it, but it feels like when you go to like white kids' houses and they're talking their parents crazy and they're like, I'm an adult now, treat me like an adult, and they're like teenagers and they have all the access to get provided for, but also want to make rules and run stuff. That's how they act. And it's just, unfortunately, it's really, really sad. I wish most of them would either just stop dating completely or figure out what they want and stop trying to partner with people that are not compatible. If you want to push over, find one. If you want a strong person and you want to be equals, find that. But there's a dynamic of, I want someone who's cute, this and that, and doesn't think for herself, but also I want her to work and mule and run around and do this and that. What do you bring to the table? Those are not the same type of woman. Pick one. And who are you?
Yeah, I agree with you. I appreciate that. You ran out of time. True leadership is service. A lot of people want to lead but don't want to serve. Like, yes, this idea that the leader eats last is one of the most important ideas that I've ever seen or read. I think Simon Sinek was the author of the thought. And I think that we need to reinforce that. Like, when you're a leader, you take accountability for everything. You are the person who goes out there and do. Actually, I have a question. If you are a woman in the chat, I do actually really want to know this. Please come up and tell me why you are looking for a leader. I need to know that. And if it's biblical, it's biblical. You can just explain it from a biblical perspective, because I've never truly understood why successful women who are doing amazing are saying, I need a leader. I don't know. Like, you can want a partner or lover or whatever it is, but it's a very strange thing to hear, I want a leader. So I never understood that. I've read it in the Bible, so please come up and talk about that. If you are talking about that, we can have more time than 2 minutes. Anyway, please sell food cakes. No, I'm not going to sell it. I was joking. Thank you. Go ahead. Wake up, makeup.
Hi, Themis. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Yeah, good. I love your hair, by the way.
Thank you. So, as a Black woman who has an attitude, yeah, they just need to choose better. I've been married. Been married for 17 years, not to a Black man, and I definitely have an attitude, and he deals with it accordingly. So I don't understand why that is such an issue when they're supposed to be alpha males and, have all. I mean, obviously that is a skill set that they need to start working on. Correct? Are we going to add that to the list of skills?
Wait. I didn't realize you had such amazing cheekbones. Period. Come through. Cheekbones too when I'm at home. Yeah, period. Is that why you came in the light? I feel like you came in the light to say, I'm gonna give you this full effect, because you're not about to get off the camera without getting all of them.
I couldn't see. Period. Okay, you're gonna get all of it. We're just gonna add it to the skill set. There's so many skills that they obviously we had to do research. So can we just add that to the list? Because I don't understand why Black women have to change so much about themselves because they are Black, when there are plenty of women who have attitudes who are not Black, but they will take that same person in non-black form. So explain that to me.
Yeah.
Explain that to me. You will take an educated, wears extensions, all, all these things, if they're not black.
Yeah, let me respond to Stan. Wait, top 10. Oh, I think this is Stan. I should not have to deal with your attitude. If a person have an attitude, you need to fix. No, or you could find someone who doesn't. Girl, I'm not about to sit here and argue back and forth with you. Ain't nobody about to change for you. Like no one's gonna change for you. You're gonna have to go find someone who fits your bill. No one's gonna change for you. It's fine. Like
And
what?
again, and let me clarify.
Wait, no.
Right.
I shouldn't have to. Here's the entitlement. I shouldn't have to deal with an attitude. You don't have to. You can leave.
Right. You can leave. You can leave. Nobody asked you to come talk to me, because I guarantee they're not actually having real conversations with these women that have attitudes. They're just upset because those women don't want to talk to them. So they perceive it as an attitude. You have an attitude problem. Why don't you smile? Because I'm not looking at you. I don't care. I don't want to talk to you. That's what that is.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I could look at your face all day, but we have to go. Thank you so much for being on.
Bye.
Bye. Demas, my daddy issues made me want to refer until I got the therapy. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm glad you got therapy. Purple, go ahead.
Well, hello, Phoenix. Thank you for having me on your live, sweetheart. Thank you. To answer your question, a lot of this is coming from the lack of emotional intelligence that these men seem to have. People who are able to lead don't ask you to lead. They simply do the job. Just like, with the type of work that I do, I have to be accountable. Nobody is going to want to hear an excuse about why I wasn't able to do what they paid good money for me to do. And that's the whole thing that's missing. And you ask the question, why do these women who are in leadership roles want a partner that would take charge? I think it comes down to, and I have also heard white men who are in leadership roles say that because they're making the decisions all day long, they just want a break from doing it. Whereas for them, it's more like a temporary
Are
thing.
you explaining why some women want a leader at home?
Yes.
Okay, so they don't want to make these decisions, you're saying?
Yeah, because they have to do it so much during the day. You just want to have a space where you can just rest in your feminine, because you have to stay in what a lot of people call your divine masculine role for so long. By the time you get home, you just want to be able to drop that and just be able to have somebody else do some of that work.
The back chat just filled up, and there's so many people. I wish I actually want to. Can we table this for another time?
Oh, definitely. I appreciate your time and allowing me to speak.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. And actually, the reason I said that is because I think this is longer than a 2-minute conversation.
Oh, it definitely would be.
Yeah,
so
because it creeps me out when I hear it, but I actually do need to learn.
Yeah, it's not something that I would work for myself, but I understand why somebody else may want it, because even with myself, it does get mentally fatiguing to always be the one that everybody else turns to. So I can get why somebody might just want to be like, well, when it comes to my personal life, I just want somebody else to play that role for me.
Gotcha. I mean, I lead all day, but I don't have the need for leadership at home. But is that a specifically woman thing?
I think so, because women tend to be socialized to want to seek out a leader.
So you think it's socialization? All right, actually, we're going to table this and then come back to it, because I actually think this is really fascinating now.
Thank you. Well, y'all have a good night. Thanks so much for allowing me to speak.
I called you up intentionally, so I apologize that I'm changing up now. Valerie, go ahead.
What I wanted to say is I notice a lot of people who are talking about what it takes to be in a marriage have never been in one. And I have been in one and I have seen many. And really to hold a marriage, a household, to take care of children, build like, financial future things, like there's a balance of decision making. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you have kids. All right, do you have a house? Do you know who's paying the finances? Are they paid on time? All right, we're gonna buy a car. Is it gonna be lease? Is it not gonna be lease? All right, the kids, where their school gonna be? Most men don't even know anything about their kids' school. They don't make decisions about that really. That's usually the mom. There's a lot of women that usually end up getting life insurance. Look at Kevin Samuels, he didn't have any. So for a lot of the men to say that they make all the decisions is very true.
Pause. I'll give you a 30 seconds more because I really have to respond to this.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
wait, sorry. I want to respond to this.
yeah, what I was going to say is actually, to be quite honest, all the men talking about they want someone submissive, it's not true. They want a partner that's also going to help take some of the load off in the decision-making relationship. There's no way that if a relationship is kind of like an entity or an LLC to some extent, how can you do all the micromanaging? It's impossible. You just can't even do it. So it's just a stupid statement within itself. You can't. But first of all, most men don't micromanage. So most men I know don't. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Why would it be wrong to change our behaviors if it was conducive to the long standing of the relationship? I'm assuming you're saying for the relationship to last. If the relationship is not conducive to your physical and mental health, changing your behavior to make it last is not. I would not advise changing it, right? This is everyone talking about how do we go and save a relationship. Maybe the relationship should not be saved, right? Why would it be wrong to change our behaviors if it would be conducive to the long standing of the relationship that we say we want? It might not be what you need. It might not be good for you. It might be doing too much to yourself that is ultimately going to be bad for you, even if it's good for the relationship. No, you can find people who are willing to play the games that you are willing to play. Don't try to change people to fit whatever mold you want them to fit in. No, as a choice, the decision to change should be on the person changing. Now, if you're saying changing bad behaviors for the betterment of the individual that ultimately benefits the relationship, then sure, I'll be with you. But that doesn't make sense to me.
But all that is predicated on truth, and most men don't resonate in truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of men that might say that they want a particular woman, but then they want a freaky woman. So it's like you would have to admit to yourself that you're street peen and you want street vagina. So that most men don't do that.
And I mean, I'm not even mattering either way. It's just like, no, they just go find what you want. Don't try to force people into changing for you. Absolutely not. Thank you so much, Valerie. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, good to go. First, I want to talk about that man's point. In my last relationship, I tried to change myself so much that I forgot who I was at the end of it, and I put away a lot of things that I enjoyed just for the betterment of the relationship, and it didn't work out. So if you're not doing it for yourself and you're trying to appease your partner, it's not going to work. 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work because they're not going to appreciate it, right? There's also 2 other points I want to talk about. After speaking with someone close to me earlier this week, I realized that Black men tend to be a little bit more material focused instead of focusing on the intangibles, right? So their mark is thinking that their goals is making a lot of money, working at this job, getting all this, getting the perfect woman. That's what they're trying to aim at, not so much as fixing what's on the inside, right? I always say it's always self. You always focus on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you build yourself up, right? Yeah. And my second point is he was so as I was speaking to him, he was talking about how Black women have attitude and how he doesn't want to be with a Black woman, but yet he is with a Black woman. So it's like, I also asked him, I said, so you don't care about like trying to, perpetuate the race? And he was like, nah, if they want to date out and we date out, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? All because it's predicated on his thought of Black women have attitude, and he doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off, right? And the third point is, I was thinking about the manosphere, and it seems like they all want leadership but none of the responsibility. Okay, good to go.
No, I appreciate. Oh, not y'all just doing that on time. I appreciate that. Please come back. I think we've spoke on the All Men's Live before too. So I would love to talk. We're gonna have another men's panel next week sometime. I don't know when, but just FYI, because I would like to hear from you.
Oh, perfect. Again. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're gonna skip down to Kasim because you are the one who wrote that comment. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to really talk about the comment that I said. If two people have carefully vetted one another, their whole intent is to be in a long time committed relationship, and throughout that relationship, obviously you can't vet everything, but there are certain behaviors that an individual does that you may not agree with. And during your foresight thinking, you're thinking, okay, is this behavior going to be conducive to us going forward? And if I mention that behavior to that individual and they process it and they say, hey, like, you know what, maybe this is something that I can possibly change in order to help the dynamic of the relationship. If the individuals are looking to be in that long-standing committed relationship and they've talked about that, why would that be an issue? I'm sure that in a relationship,
that would be an issue.
I'm just saying that if a
But
person,
I feel like you're arguing something no one object to. If people are together and they brought up an issue and they both agree that it's not a good thing and it would be beneficial both to the individual and the relationship, I don't see a problem in attempting to adjust.
that was my point.
Yeah, but that's not what you said.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes the auto correcting and it mixes up. But that was exactly like my point, that sometimes during the relationship we do have to make certain tweaks in us in order to have it going in the right direction, both from men and from women. And I think if we take a look at ourselves and examine ourselves and treat what's best for the relationship.
Something came.
I'll do my best. Go ahead, sir. Kasim.
No, I just finished.
I did not hear any of that. Could you please repeat? I apologize.
So you want me to repeat everything I just said?
Yes, I'm just walking back in the room.
Okay. Here is my take on that. When two people decide to get into a relationship, they've done the proper vetted and their intent is to be in a long-standing committed relationship. They both have that same ideal going into the relationship. And throughout the relationship's journey, there are certain behaviors, either he or she that they are doing. They may not be conducive or healthy for the relationship. It would not be a crime or it would not be bad for that individual to change their behavior if that behavior is mentioned to that person, looking at it more in a constructive criticism way to better the relationship versus taking it as a personal attack. When we are in long-term relationships, it is prudent for us to monitor how we communicate, to monitor our behavior, so that therefore it is healthier for the relationship. That was my point.
I didn't know what was happening, but I'm hoping that conversation went well. Can someone summarize that quickly or no? We're moving on. Kasim, that makes sense, but the problem is that these men are stereotyping Black women as having attitudes in general. Do you understand that?
I understand that some of them are, because I'm coming from a different frame of reference. I'm coming from a frame of reference that had his share of relationships. I've been married, for quite some time, and I'm coming from a reference of seeking the help that I need, getting my priorities in order, trying to be that leader, and seeking the help from individuals that do lead and that do show that leadership ability, seeking their insight in order to help me to be a better person. This has caused me to really escalate in my career. It's helped me to be in a very good, long-standing relationship. So I'm coming from a different aspect of men.
Yeah, all right. So you're not like other men. Got it.
No.
Wait, what? You're agreeing?
I am not like those men that are. I'm not like that. No.
Yeah, but what the question was, do you understand why someone said mukbang? I would never eat on camera. It will not happen. If we're talking about the fact that there is a large sort of push to stereotype Black women as this, having attitudes, not submissive, all of that. We even have a video, whatever. And so when we talk about quote unquote attitude and changing attitude, we're specifically talking about Black women in a way that is literally racist. Do you understand why that is an issue first before we continue?
I do understand that, because everyone has their personal experiences when it comes to dealing with Black women. Obviously, because we have these experiences and we share these experiences, these spaces that come about where
wait. So you are agreeing with the stereotype then?
To some degree, yes, I do. I work in a.
So you think Black women have bad attitudes?
I think Black women have attitudes that challenge Black men. I think Black women have attitudes that is not cohesive for the right communication and the right etiquette and the right language that challenges a man. Particularly, now we're talking about a man of substance. We're not talking about these other guys out here, because I don't know that.
Wait. How many men of substance do you think these Black women are engaging with? Because
I think they've met a few. And the issue is, it's okay if you meet a man of substance. Did that man really, take you onto his team?
All right. Are you a man of substance?
Yes.
And you expect us to believe you're a man of substance, right?
I know that from individuals that are around me. I have a good track record publicly. Good. I have a good standing in the community. I've helped very many individuals. I am a leader of what I do. So yes, I have done the personal work within myself and the set of values.
I'm not about to do this, because I cannot speak to you if you're going to sort of ramble on. I just want answers to the question, and if you need time to clarify, then please let me know where you need to clarify, and I will allot that time for you to clarify. But I have to get questions in. It makes no sense to me then, if you're a man of substance, to be up here sort of dismissing the entirety of Black womanhood.
I'm not dismissing the entirety of Black womanhood. I'm dismissing certain.
If you think Black women by and large have bad attitudes, first and foremost, you're going to have to convince me that you know Black women by and large, or provide research to validate that point, or you're going off a stereotype regarding Black womanhood, because your anecdotal experiences is not generalizable unless you have research to back it up, or you've met your experience is that of meeting all the Black women.
My experience is not as meeting all the Black women, but I have met plenty. I'm 55 years old. I have a lot of life experiences.
And you might have 55 more years to go, meeting 55 more women, 55,000 more Black women, unless you're willing to explain to me how your experience of Black women is an indictment on all Black women. I'm going to need something more than your experience, even with 55 years behind you.
Well, I mean, we can set up another conversation for this
No,
where
we
I
can
can
do
go
it
ahead and
now.
gather the information that you need
No, wait,
that
no,
have
no,
on
no,
hand.
no, 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 no. See, you can go and gather the information, but if you don't have the information now, while you're claiming to be a man of substance, your indictment on Black womanhood is unfounded, but you are also claiming to be a man of substance. You are claiming to be a man of substance, dragging a community of women without evidence. Because if you have to go collect that evidence now, it means you don't have it. So how are
Wait a
you?
minute, hold up. I am not on here dragging Black women.
When
I
you say
am not
Black
on here
women have
dragging Black. What makes you
attitude,
think that I'm dragging Black women?
what do you
I'm not
call
here
it?
dragging Black women. I
When
haven't
you
said
say,
anything really negative about them. I'm talking about behaviors.
look,
And
I'm
you
not
asked me
about
for
to
my
do
personal
that.
experience.
Look, you don't get to come here and ramble. I just told you if you need to explain something, you can tell me you need to explain it. You don't just get to go off in your soliloquy. Like, you get the space to talk. I am not one of those shows where you don't talk and I just push you in a corner and then stop. You get to talk. You don't just get to ramble on and on and on because you're upset. No, you can answer the question and say, hey, you said this is inappropriate. Can I explain? And I'm going to say yes. And if I ever say no, then the audience will know that I'm running from a valid point. I am not. You are dragging a community, you are disparaging a community when you are making claims about said community without proof. I've asked you to provide for me the evidence that Black women have bad attitudes by and large. You said you needed time to go and do the research. If you need time to go and do the research, it means you don't have the research. If you don't have the research and you're indicting a group of people, you just don't have anything backing up what you're saying. You're dragging the community. If I say something negative about Black men generally, and you say, Demas, can you prove it? And I can't, no, I'm out of order. I can't do that. Similarly, if you're saying this about Black women, you're out of order if you can't prove it. You are relying on a stereotype if you don't have the research or if you have not met enough Black women to be generalizable. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand that. So now let's create the standard. How many Black women do you need to have in order for me to qualify to have an opinion about that? How many?
You need a critical mass if you're going to go by your experience. I know for a fact that we cannot go by your experience. That much I know for a fact. So even if I say there is over 20 million Black women in America, and you say I have met 10,000 Black women, it wouldn't be enough for me unless you are going to show me how that is generalizable. Your experience of Black womanhood is not generalizable. You have to go find a research or something to indicate that you know, or you can figure out how to do the research yourself and do that. Like, you can actually do a research on I guess it would be qualitative, and I don't like self-report research, but at least that would be useful in this sense. But you cannot just come up here and say Black women have bad attitude, because your experience with 55 years, mine stepping into my 30s, I'm going to say my experience with Black women is very different than yours. My brother's experience with my father's experience, my cousin's experience with Black women is very different than yours. So we are going to run up against your 55 years plus mine, plus my brothers, plus my cousins, plus my uncles. It is not verifiable.
But let me ask you this. Do you believe that there will be commonalities within our responses and our answers based upon the experiences that we've had?
If your experiences of Black women with bad attitudes, I'm going to have a very different experience than you, because the attitude I get from Black women is no different than the attitude I get from every single other group of women. Everyone has, the people with the worst attitude that I've run into online are Black men. That's not the truth in my real life, but online, Black men have had the worst attitudes in my interactions.
And that's not that. And I agree with you on that, because in my real life, I don't have, the men that I'm around, I don't have these issues. I don't see these issues that these
All right,
women are talking
exactly. So
about.
that's the problem with your anecdotal experience. You're now agreeing with me that anecdotes aren't research. So when I say you're dragging a community, when I say you're dragging people, and then you say I'm a man of substance, and I question that, the reason I question that is, well, a man of substance would have substance to back up what he's saying. He's not just going to come out here and feed into a stereotype about a group of people without research to back that up. The lack of substance is, for me, a problem.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, and that's okay.
Wait, you're gonna
But I
disagree.
really,
No,
I
no, no, no,
really
it's not
enjoy.
okay. Wait,
I
wait, no, no,
really
it's not okay.
enjoy
Wait. What are you gonna disagree with me on?
about how I'm not a man of substance.
I never said you're not a man of substance. I never said that. I don't know you to say that.
What I
I
will
never
say is this: I listened to your show several times, and I do like the exchange that you do have. I do like your point of view that you do have. You are sort of middle of the road, and you allow individuals to be individuals, and for them to find whoever it is that they want to find and they rock with. That is something that is actually quite refreshing. Um, I would encourage you to keep going and allow these women and these men to share their experiences, and perhaps I believe the end goal is for us to find each other and to come together more in order for us to be a better community, and for us to have long-standing relationships and commitments, because that's what my goal is. My goal is never to divide and to break up. Sometimes we have to examine ourselves, and there may be some things that we have to change. I know I had to go through a whole lot in order to change my behaviors, my way of thinking, realign my values in order to get to where I am and the type of person that I am today. And I think we're all kind of looking for that. And your space is one of the good ones that at least gets that conversation going, and that you have that in the foresight. So I just want to commend you for that.
I appreciate that, and I look forward to having further conversations with you. If you've been here, hopefully that there is an exchanging of ideas going on. But when we say we agree to disagree, I hope it's on things that we can agree to disagree on. And when it comes specifically to the way in which we engage, I have been extraordinarily protective of women in my life. That has extended on the internet. This does not mean I don't, quote unquote, hold women accountable. The issue I have generally is when men come on and say they're going to hold women accountable, it's usually nothing. Like, it's usually, oh, I don't like their attitude. Okay, but we're talking about every 5.5 hours. Why are you talking about their attitudes? And so for me, it's really hard sometimes to hear when men are saying, oh, Black women have attitudes, while at the same time talking about how white women are dating Black men because they feel superior to them and they can control them. Like, it feels like there is an unwillingness to accept that everyone has attitude, everyone has bad days, everyone has all kinds of issues that they need to deal with. And instead of saying, okay, we're human beings and we are all making mistakes, we're attempting to project that on one group of people. And that, for me, is intellectually dishonest. And that's all I wanted to get to. But I appreciate that, and I'm glad you're here. I hope you still continue to be here. I'm not going to say that name, but the one with Kevin in the middle. I think you were next, and then Obi.
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So you had asked a question earlier about why women want leaders. Not all women, but
Oh,
and I wanted to
sorry. I'm going to table that discussion. Someone came up. Sorry. Someone came up and we were talking about it, and I realized that is going to be a long discussion. So I'm probably going to just make one stream about that. Like, I'm going to make the entire stream about that and then have people come up and explain that to me, as opposed to doing it here, because it's too big a topic.
Thanks, Venus.
I appreciate that. No, do you want to add anything else? You do have a minute.
Oh yeah, I was going to say that that whole attitude stuff. Never heard attitude, that whole attitude stuff with non-black men. I never hear it around, etc. They usually say, "Oh my God, you have a brain and you have like stuff you like and you have standards," and I like that. That's all I hear from non-black men with this quote unquote attitude thing. And black men are projecting when they say attitude, they mean, "Oh, because you won't kiss my butt and you won't let me get my way, even if it's bad. Oh, you have an attitude. Oh, because you have standards, you have an attitude." And I'm just saying it's very disingenuous because when other girls do it, they're called spicy. And I always tell a black man, look at a black woman, make her hair looser, paint her skin lighter, and she act the same way. You know what you'll call her? Oh, spicy. She's just a spicy Latina. But if you look at a Latina, you paint her dark and you make her hair more coily, you will literally call her masculine, have an attitude. And so I say it's very disingenuous. And black men don't have attitudes. It's just that black men can't handle when a woman have standards and tell them no. And they need to grow up and stop being toddlers and brats. That's what I was going to say. But thank you.
I appreciate you. You sound just like, thank you, by the way. You sound like the lady that just dragged them about being toddlers. All right. All right, we have 15 minutes. The panel is closed, so I'm going to add everyone behind the scene now. This is it. The panel is closed. There will be no more. After everyone go here, then we're closed off. All right, go ahead, Obi.
Hello, Themis. Hello, everyone. Anytime I hear people say, especially black men say black women have an attitude, I think they're using it as a smokescreen for the hatred they have for black women, or the idea of the stereotype they have put black women in. And you've noticed that they say not all. So if it is true that it's not all women, all black women that have an attitude, why are we not looking for those women that don't have an attitude, marry them and show the other women what a good woman looks like, what a woman without an attitude looks like, and reward them with our leadership and our substance of men of substance.
Wait, no. Yeah, I mean, the next part of the conversation, I'll just give it to the people who want to challenge it. The next part of the conversation was very definitely going to be, okay, what is the touchstone for a good relationship when people don't have an attitude? Oh, got it. Are you able to do it with any other group of women? Okay, you can. So black women's attitude don't seem to be the problem. So like I'm already giving the next layer. So when people are researching, they can do it. Because the reality is I don't need a gotcha moment. I just need the truth. So just be prepared for that section of the conversation when y'all come back. Go ahead.
Back in the day when I was dating, I met all women of all kinds. I only mess with black women, period, because that's my preference. And I knew what I wanted and what I didn't want. When I met women that did not meet what I wanted, I moved on without malice and without any complaint until I found the woman that I'm with right now, who is the very dark-skinned black woman, who is the most pleasant woman that I've met in my entire life. I have no attitude. I've not seen any attitude since I've been with her. She's a very smart woman, very accomplished. When I say things that don't make sense, she pushes back respectfully, and I treat her with kindness and respect. I work with black women. My direct boss is a black woman. She's extremely pleasant, extremely helpful, and very supportive of me and my work. So like when people say that black women have attitude, I think that they're just weaponizing it to punish the black women or have this stereotype that they have about black women. It is a smokescreen, is a cop-out. There's no justification for it, because if this is really true, and I've met women of all kinds of races, I work with women of all kinds of races and men, and some women have attitudes, some women don't have attitudes. So I think this is just weaponization against black women and a stereotype.
I appreciate that. Thank you. KL, there is a membership, but it's like for book clubs. We do readings, which I've been slacking on. I'll get that up next month. So you don't have to become a paid member. You can just like chill in the chat. I will, if you, I'll remember your name. Just if you hang around and you come up and all of that, you're fine. Like you don't, there's no real paid membership or anything. So you're fine. I appreciate that. That seems like you're willing to support. So I do appreciate that. But there's no, I don't have anything. Who is the next? I think Prince Petty.
Good evening.
Wait, so there are more people behind the scene. I said the panel was closed, and I feel like I'm not going to be a man of my word if I add you all.
Put your foot down. You have food to get to.
Oh, true. I'm so sorry. Like I have to be strong. I really want to add you guys, but Kiki and Omega, on tomorrow, I'm doing a live stream tomorrow where we talk to the bourgeois Black people, or one Black person really. And you guys will be the first pick. Remind me of this, Kiki and Omega, that you guys will be welcome on the panel as the first pick. So I'm so sorry. But you guys will be the first on. So I hope that makes up for something. Go ahead, Prince Petty.
Themis, because I took over the live stream without warning, I humbly request 3 minutes.
No, you have 30 seconds.
God damn.
No, you're fine. I'll keep you up and we can get into the after show. If
I could go last then, in that case.
All right. Go ahead, Reese.
Good evening, Themis, and everyone on the panel. Good evening to everyone in the chat. Themis, how much time do I get? I want to stop.
2 minutes.
2 minutes, perfect. Okay, I'm going to do this as quickly as I possibly can. So I just wanted to read an excerpt from Is Marriage for White People by Ralph Richard Banks. And this is just to kind of reinforce what Psychology Today has said. Now, I know that Ralph Richard Banks has been accused of being a Negropian by certain people. But please, for all of those people who would do that, Dr. Umar, I'm looking at you. Please remember that you are speaking about an ADOS Black man, and you do want to protect the Black man's image. Remember that. So it reads, and this is page 46, 50 years ago, the fact that a man earned a meager income influenced who he married. Today, it influences whether he marries. As I discussed in chapter 2, people are no longer compelled to marry, but when they do marry, they expect a lot from the relationship. Poor people, no less than middle-class people, seek emotional intimacy and understanding in marriage. They want a nurturing partner with whom they can grow as a person. So I'm going to end that right there. Again, just want to reinforce what was said in Psychology Today. And since all of the alpha males are out there and they deal in logic and not in emotion, allegedly, hey, just wondering when you're going to put your money where your mouth is and actually listen to what is being subscribed to you by other men. That's all I had to add, and I'm out of here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, please keep coming back. I love hearing you talk.
I will do my best. Thanks for having me.
Go ahead, Afro Butterfly, 2 minutes.
Happy Tuesday.
No, she went out there and found how to become a member. Welcome, KL. She literally went out and found it. You're the best. Welcome. I would love to join the panel. Is that Kiki? Is that you? You can type in the private chat. Go ahead, Afro Butterfly. Sorry.
I love this community that you've created. I feel like I've grown here so much, even in the short 2 months I've been subscribed. I've been binge watched a lot of content, and it really has challenged a lot of the ways that I think. I grew up pretty sheltered, so definitely I had 18 male cousins. I have a father, a brother, male dogs. It's a very masculine environment, and I feel like I was very quiet growing up, and just they were very vocal about their opinions on things and how women should present themselves in society and what their ideal type of woman is. And of course, as an adult, when I go back and evaluate that, it's this caricature of this freaky but meek but non-opinionated but spicy, but it just an amalgamation of a person that really can't exist. And
A submissive provider.
Yes. And I listened to the gentleman who commented earlier, one of the men who spoke earlier. I believe he was in naval uniform. And he commented on his experience that he tried to conform himself or change himself in a relationship earlier, and it felt like he was pretending. And I see all too often women in our community pretend and shape themselves in mule and cape, and they get exhausted carrying on this portrayal of something that they don't even internally agree with. And I really do appreciate things like the Psychology Today article and all the channels out there that are really giving women voices and the ability to change, because I know I definitely needed that. But I just want to come on here and say that, and that it's refreshing to see you as a male, especially a Black male, being so uplifting.
I appreciate that. The men in the chat would disagree that I'm male.
It's so funny because it's like not to call people out, but the gentleman who came up here with 55 years of experience was far more catty than any woman has ever been on this panel, and he says he doesn't like Black women with attitude.
No, I'm gonna stop you. We don't address people who are not on the channel or not on the screen.
I'll come back a different day, but I've seen that behavior before. Usually it's a projection. When you don't like someone and something in someone, it's something in yourself. And you generally attract what you are. If you don't like catty people. But thank you,
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I love your dreads and your dimples. And people will not let me forget that in the chat. Thank you for all your hard work and advocacy, Themis. As a proud dark-skinned Jamaican woman with degrees and a home, thank you. How dare you have a home? Now you know you shouldn't be having no homes until you're married. I appreciate that. No, thank you. I appreciate that. What a go on, my sister. Take it to your house. Go ahead.
Hi, Themis. Hi, everyone. I guess my take is that I don't understand why Black women don't have more of an attitude under the certain circumstances.
Right. Wait, no. Pause in your time. Pause in your time. You want to know something? There are people who came up with this before, and they're like, "Oh, Black women have attitudes, blah blah blah." And I took the other route where I said, do you think we as a community has fostered an environment where Black women feel like they can be, quote unquote, this dainty, soft, feminine kind of person that you're imagining in your mind? And these same people will say, no. I think we in the ghettos, it's like a war zone, blah, blah, blah. All these analogies and metaphors about how disastrous our communities are. And those same people are like, but these women aren't submissive. It's like, you do realize that 1 + 1 doesn't equal egg. Like you realize that this is not how you do the math. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. I feel like the climate that we're in, it just Black women, it's almost dangerous for us to be friendly and feminine and amongst a group of males who are dangerous at times to women, to children, to each other. They don't even want to do simple things like take care of their children, their own offspring. But you're talking about attitudes, like they just don't have their stuff. They have other things that they need to be focused on other than our attitudes, and they don't have pleasant attitudes themselves. So I feel like that's what they need to focus on.
How are Black women being? Thank you. How are Black women being killed every 5.5 hours, no less? And your concern is about the attitude. Girl, if you don't get your affairs in order, because I'm not about to sit up here and talk to you about no one's attitude. I'm not about to do that. Is what Marriage for White People is a prerequisite for text for joining Themis in the period. Yeah, everyone has to read that book. I have sent it to people. I've literally only sent it to people. I don't know how many times I've read it, but yeah, it is a prerequisite for the Team Centos 101. Welcome, Her Majesty. I appreciate that. I don't know if you were finished. Take it to your house. Go ahead. I'll let you finish. I think you had 10 seconds.
That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you all for being here. So for those in the back chat, I will not be adding anyone else. The reason is I need to actually start sticking to what I'm saying. I said 3 hours. It is now 30 minutes past the 3-hour mark. So I've already failed on one level. So I appreciate you guys so much. Kiki and I think Omega, you will be the first tomorrow. Well, welcome. All right. Everyone stop signing up for the membership because I'm getting freaked out by it now because it feels like I did a reverse psychology thing and I feel terrible because I didn't mean to. So, yay. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. I actually do appreciate the love and support. And in the after show, I'll talk about something that I found out. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you all. You don't have to stay for the after show. It's usually me talking about whatever I want to talk about. Petty's up here. And Afro Butterfly is still up here. So she will get to join in whatever conversation we get to have. Bye. Have a wonderful night. Good luck in work tomorrow. I'm not going into the office for the rest of the week, so if you're on my Instagram, there will be no updates about clothing. Demas, go eat. Yes, I do need to eat. So I just remembered, because I was talking about membership, I realize that I've been a bit harsh with the subscribers, and I'm still going to stand by what I said. Let me just be clear. I don't think you should message me and emailing me demanding things. Demanding I do this or don't do this or talk to this person or not talk to this person. I think it's out of line. I'm going live tomorrow at 6, the same time. The live stream is already up. You guys can go click the bell button or whatever it's called. It's already up, so you can go on my channel, find it, click it, and it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, welcome. Say no to justice struggle. Where do y'all get these names from? Anywho, so all of that stands. I don't appreciate it, but I realize someone left a really amazing comment. It was very long. I read all of it. And it was talking about why people here felt so protective of me. And I'm like, wait, I'm supposed to be the one protecting. And I hope that I can carry that trust and that you guys will always feel respected, one, but also that I am not sort of disrespectful to the trust that you've placed in my hands. I will do my best to live up to the standards that I have set for myself, and I will always try to portray the best version of myself on here and just generally. That much is true. You can scour everything to make sure that there's nothing in my past, because there's nothing. Now, that being said, I do want to say a huge thank you. I didn't realize just how significant this community would be, not just to myself, like literally every minute of the day, I've thought about the YouTube and what I'm doing and how to improve and all of that stuff. But the ways in which you guys have interacted with me have really touched me in a way that I think I don't know that I could ever imagine. And the ways in which you have been protective of the platform, protective of the space, and by extension, me, I do feel cared for and I feel loved on the platform. And that's a very strange thing to say. And I love you right back. When people said that, I actually got annoyed because like, how can you love people you don't know? I actually do love the community that we've created here. I really, really do. And so as we move forward, I do like messages. Please be softer in your tone because I'm quick to block. It's not going to happen on Instagram. If you come at Instagram, I'm going to block you. It's just what it is. Like I'm not, I get to do what I want to do and be silly over there. So I'm not about to do that. But I do really, really appreciate the love. And so if you ever feel disrespected, if you feel like your voice is not being heard, know that I am here and you can reach out to me and you can come on here and talk to me. This is why I always try to open the panel up so you can feel ownership in the space that we have created. So that is the first thing. The second thing, as it relates to our community, is I am going to at least attempt. I've been working hard, but I try to always give my YouTube time. I'm going to attempt to build in a better way, try to be more formulaic so you guys understand what is happening, make sure that you guys know what is happening. And I'm in this for the long haul, just an FYI, and we'll see where this goes. So I truly, truly appreciate just the time and effort that you've spent with me. I appreciate the trust that you've placed in me, and I do hope that I can carry that trust. And if I don't, call me out. If you don't feel safe, you have the right to leave. This is not a moment where I'm like, now we stuck together. No, you have the right to leave when you feel like it's time for you to go. But also know that I'm open to critique in the most direct way. You don't have to worry about my emotions. If you're on the screen, unless you're doing something illegal or utterly disrespectful to other people, it's very rare that anything you say on here will get you blocked. So you can drag me in my face. I'm fine with that. I'm good. I actually prefer getting dragged than a compliment. So that's that on that. But I love a good compliment. All right, Prince Petty, go ahead.
3 points. I'm gonna get you out of here in less than 5 minutes. Number one, good evening again, by the way. Men's reaction to the Psychology Today study has been interesting to me. The death threats, questioning the legitimacy of it. The manosphere men I've seen covering this are like, this study is lying. But if you look at almost every video from those same channels, all they talk about is how it's so unfair. Men are so lonely. We don't get any attention. Women's standards are too high. Average men are invisible to them. The male suicide rates are so high because we can't partner with women. Remember how Fee said, ever since women got rights, we have to do more than have a job. Oh, won't someone in this patriarchy think about the men? But now that this study is out, all those men are like, oh, men aren't lonely. This study is lying. We're going our own way. We're happy. That is my first point. Very interesting, the complete denial of everything that they were talking about prior. Number two, Stan the Man referenced a frequently used flawed argument that one voice must rule all. He poses this imaginary scenario where the man must make a decision in the relationship. He wants to eat seafood for dinner, but she wants steak. So now he, as the leader, must decide, or else the relationship will implode. Some good advice from an old therapist, friend of mine, when it comes to a big decision like moving, buying a house, having a child. If the answer from both the man and woman is not a unanimous yes, then it's a no. Like imagine your husband asks you, are you ready to have a baby? You say no. He says, well, thank you for the input, but my say so is final. So we're having the child. Like that seems really scary and unreasonable.
How you gonna carry it? I'm kidding.
Number three, I know Stan the Man didn't come up here, and this isn't this the man. Okay, he was talking about black women's attitude. When every time Cynthia comes up to talk about black males, he comes up angry and he says it is unfair to ascribe negative traits to all black men. That's a stereotype. It's not all black men. There was no need for him. He came up and said, I'm not attacking black women, but like there's no need to specify that black women have attitudes unless you think it is specific to black women. Especially since earlier in the video, he is the video he's referencing at some point specifically, they said this is about dark-skinned women. I won't date dark-skinned women specifically if their skin is darker than mine. So those are my 3 points in under 3 minutes.
And I feel like on that note, we should just call it a night. Ain't nothing, there's nowhere to go from there. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, everyone. I really do appreciate. I'm gonna get into this oxtail. I didn't tell you that I got festivals, jerk chicken, curry. like I don't know why I ordered so much food because I'm looking at it right now and there are like 3 boxes, plus a couple of foil papers. And I don't know where that's about to go, but I'm just gonna start eating all over. So
You
here
better
we
tell them
go.
about them foil papers. They was trying to say that food was cold. I know they keep them foil papers in there. That food is probably still warm.
If it's not, I'm gonna put it in the microwave. Absolutely, I am. What black men call attitude, other men call transparency, accountability. Black men don't like being confronted with either, so they demonize black women who. I mean, they'll come up here like every black women just operate on emotion, and then come up here and you can't hear a word they're saying over there screaming and their emotion. Like I mean, you're rambling on and you're not attempting to answer anything. It sounds emotional to me, but I'm gonna leave that alone and I'm gonna get into this food. What should I watch on Netflix? I don't know, but I'm gonna go. Someone said no microwave. Look, I need it really hot, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Bye, everyone. Nope, actually, before we go, Afro Butterfly, I'll let you go. You've been on, so you get it right. You close us out.
Again, just thank you for this space and the speech that you just gave leading into the after show to me is the true embodiment of masculinity.
Period. Let them know. Let them know.
Literally, your willingness to protect your community, to acknowledge people, to hold yourself accountable, to hold other people accountable, but do it in a respectful and dignified way. That's all we want people to do. That's it. That's all we want. So if you could teach a master class for the men's, that would be.
Look, I'm gonna start my standard suit. You need a suit before you can get this.
Dusty ass suit. Have a great night, Steven. Thank you.
Period. Thank you so much. Two L's. Thank you so much. Someone just told me to watch Sandman. Unfortunately, I cannot because I finished the entire season. I absolutely love it. Did it get canceled? I don't know. I have a Google notification to see if Sandman season 2 is going to come out. That show was fire. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So I need other shows, preferably something with Witcher too. Have a wonderful night, guys. Bye. Let me go explore Netflix.